You're gonna disconnect me. Really? I just wanted to play for a couple hours. Come on. Just for a little while. Just a little stream. Just let me do a little stream. Come on. Ah, there we go. Cool. Background music, mute. I don't want to listen to the background music around. Play my own music. Or maybe I'll listen to John Campia's show again. No, I already listened to that. Wait, did I finish it? I don't think I finished it. Could listen to the rest of it. And go check. Did I finish it? No, I didn't finish it. I can listen to the rest of that. Ah, ads.
Have never gotten into those games. You're
like
into
the Final Fantasy kind of games?
Like StarCraft,
oh, like
where you
real-time
control,
strategy games?
Yeah.
Those are my favorite kind of games.
Oh my God, why do you release those games?
I definitely want a Warcraft kind of Lord of the Rings
No,
game.
man.
I definitely want one of those.
As soon as they announce that, you don't exist to me no more.
Anyway, guys, we spent a lot of time
Warcraft,
on this.
Lord of the Rings
Wars
game?
for you.
Oh, hell
what
yeah.
do you think about this? A Swedish video game company has now owns Lord of the Rings.
Wait.
What are they going to do with it? I don't know. Hey, listen, maybe this could be terrible, horrible news, but maybe it could turn and be something
Maybe
really
they'll
great.
buy Star Trek next.
Whatever
Buy
you
Star
guys
Trek.
think, jump down in the
Yeah.
comment section below and
We'll
let
make
us
a
know
dope Star Trek
your
game.
thoughts.
You know, a dope
All right,
Star
guys.
Trek
We're gonna move now
MMO
into our
has
main
yet to
topics
be
here
like
today.
there
But
was a
before we
Star
do,
Trek
we're gonna take a
MMO,
second
but
to
I don't
thank
think
a
it was
sponsor of
very
today's show,
popular.
Our friends over at Babbel. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this episode, Babbel. Now, as an Italian, did you guys know my real name is Giovanni? Anyway, as an Italian that doesn't actually speak a lot of Italian, I've always wanted to learn better Italian so I could converse with. Continue to get some comedic roles and some comedies, like smaller bit roles. But then he started to get noticed more, and he got bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point that the dude, I believe, has 2 Academy Award nominations. Like, he's become like a really sought out, and now he directs, he produces, he's just been a guy who just got his start in the business in one kind of way and has just evolved. It's really an incredible story what he's been able to do. I've met Jonah Hill, and it's just amazing what he has been able to do.
Yeah, I guess.
Now that said,
that's cool.
It is. We've talked a lot on the show in years past about how sometimes I'll rail on some performers who don't do their jobs and get out and promote the movies they've been in. You get paid a lot of money to be in a movie. You are expected to go out there and promote that movie. It's just common sense. You should, and it's often in the contracts. Not often. It's always in the contracts. You got to do that.
Oh, that should help.
But Jonah Hill says he's not going to be doing that anymore, at least for the foreseeable future. And I actually have no problem with it, and I'll explain why in a second. Here's what's going on. This comes just from the folks over at Variety who wrote the following. By the way, look at Jonah Hill these days. Wrote the following. Through this journey of self-discovery, within the film, he's talking about a documentary that he's doing. It's a lot about his therapist and him. Of self-discovery with the film, I have come to the understanding that I have spent nearly 20 years experiencing anxiety attacks, which are exacerbated by media appearances and public-facing events. Hill wrote about debuting the documentary Spuds at an upcoming fall film festival. The movie features Hill and his therapist openly discussing his mental health issues. You won't see me out there promoting this film or any of my upcoming films while I take this important step to protect myself. If I made myself sicker by going out there and promoting it, I wouldn't be acting true to myself or to the film. That again comes us from writing. Now, I've mentioned that I have met Jonah Hill a couple of times, and I can tell you he is very uncomfortable with the message. To the point, I remember the first time I met him, it was for 22 Jump Street, the second 21 Jump Street movie. And I remember, and I couldn't tell if he was just a dick
I never saw that one.
or if he was just really uncomfortable.
No, wait, I did see
And
that one.
then when I was
No, I remember.
I've
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
to
yeah,
some
yeah.
people who've known
That's
him
the one where
and
he's
worked
like,
with
"My
him,
name's
and
Jeff,"
everybody
right?
really likes him.
Or is that the first
And then
one?
I met him at another press event, and again, it was like he was very uncomfortable. You could just tell he was. So what do I think about him saying he's not going to promote something? I have no problem with that for two reasons. Number one, if you make sure that the films that you're going to get involved with know in advance, it's like, hey, if you want to hire me, that's great. But as long as he's forthright with them and they know in advance, I won't be doing press tours for it, and I won't be doing promotion for the film. If then the producers of the film and the studios behind the film are okay with that, then that's on them. As long as he is forthright and says in advance, before we sign this contract, you got to know I won't be doing promotion. And if you're good with that, great. So yeah, then the onus is, listen, if I'm a producer making a movie, that's on me now. If I make the decision to put him in the movie, then I'm making that decision knowing he's not promoting it. And as long as we're on the same page, there's no problem. I also applaud him for taking care of himself because, like I said,
what are these,
I have
dailies,
seen
I
it.
guess?
Listen, there was a study. Comedians make jokes about it, but there were studies done where, like, just how afraid people are of doing public speaking. And there's
Clearly, you and I are among them.
Yeah, but I'm actually more comfortable in front of, like, I'm more comfortable on the stage at Hall H talking to 6,000 people than I am to talking to two or three people in a small group. It's weird, but comedians make this joke. Is that if there's a funeral, more people would rather be in the coffin.
Talking
than
to
giving
a
the
crowd
eulogy.
is different
The people were more
than
afraid of
having like a
public speaking
personal
than that.
one-on-one or two-on-one.
So, I mean,
you know,
and
when you're
when
talking to
I've
when you're
seen
like
Jonah
speaking
Hill,
to the crowd,
like,
some
physically
people can handle
uncomfortable,
it and some people can't.
You know what? If
Some
you
people, I mean,
recognize that and you know this is not good,
It's a different thing, right?
then
Talking
good
to
for
the,
you for
like,
taking
speaking
those
to a
steps
crowd,
to say
totally
this is
different
not something I
experience.
should do. And if your potential employers,
Some people it's easy.
then
Some
everything's
people it's
good.
really
Now,
hard.
They
you
ask
know?
the question: will this affect his ability to land some roles? I'm sure it will. I'm
I
sure
don't really
there
have a
will
problem
be
talking to the
some
crowd.
roles where people are going to go, we really need somebody who's going to get out there and stomp. And
No, that's
and
not true.
promote the
I do.
film.
I totally do.
Sure,
I get nervous.
but I also
as
believe
fuck
a lot
when
of
I'm
other
on
people are
stage.
like, hey, you're a two-time Academy Award nominated actor. I think
But
just
it's
us
not
being
so
able to put your
nervous
name on
that
the
it
poster is gonna be
makes
fine,
it
whatever. So
impossible
will it have
for me
an
to do
effect?
it. I can do it. It's
Yes.
just, but yeah,
Will
I
it have a
definitely get
huge
nervous,
impact?
for sure.
I don't think so. I don't know, Rob, you see all this. What's your takeaway from it?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of
Being a
Jonah Hill.
YouTuber is different.
I think
My
if you
face
watch his
is-
performance in Moneyball or his performance in Wolf
face
of
is
Wall
hidden.
Street, you realize this is a world-class actor. I think.
What's the one he did with Miles Teller, where they were arms dealers?
Oh yeah, War Dogs was it War Dogs?
Yeah, I think it was War Dog. He's
He's
in
a
that.
fantastic performer. He's actually quite a good director. He's directing TV now, and he's directing movies. I'll tell you, I can point to something specific. I think he finally just. So there's many a YouTube clip where he's been out doing press for movies, and people bring up his weight, whether he lost weight, whether he gained weight, whatever. They talk about his weight, and that clearly bothers him.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, you think in our society where everyone is conscious of how everyone else feels, you use proper pronouns, don't say this, and yet it's okay to ask somebody, a performer, about their weight?
Constantly.
And like that's somehow okay, and the thing is,
especially
what does that
someone
have to
that's
do with your performance?
that's
Are you
obviously
asking?
well,
I
has
mean,
it-
when
has an
Robert De
issue.
Niro gained a bunch of weight
When
to play
someone
Jake LaMotta
obviously
in
has an
Raging Bull
issue,
40 years ago,
like,
42
and then
years
you
ago,
just press the
I can
issue.
understand why that
It's pretty
was
fucked
a
up.
big deal. But now with Jonah Hill, I mean, I think I first saw him in Superbad. That was the first movie I think that I saw that I love. I love that
Love that
comedy.
movie.
But I'm sure he just got
Classic.
fed up and like, what? It's one person too many asked about his weight, and he was probably like, what the F does that have to do with my performance or this movie? And I think he just got sick of it. He's like, look, and no wonder you think
Superbad
that
was
guy
like
growing up
my high school
didn't have
comedy.
anxiety about the way he looked, and then being a movie
That is
star and looking at his own
exactly what high
performance.
school
No one
life
knows
was
more than a
like for
person
me.
how they feel about themselves.
I don't know.
And when people are constantly bringing up the one thing that you probably
That was
thought
like
more
high
about than
school for
anything
me.
else about your appearance, it finally you just kind of get to a point and be like, man, you know what? I'm just going to do my work and let my work speak for itself.
Yeah, right.
He looks good in that photo.
Why are you pointing at Jonathan?
I meant like Jonah Hill. I mean, Jonathan always looks good. Look, he's a handsome devil.
I clean up well,
Jonah Hill. I love everything he's in. He makes me laugh. I thought he was the best part of Don't Look Up, which I like that movie.
He was really good in that.
I mean,
He's in that.
I
didn't
just gotta
know
leave the brother
that.
alone. If he has problems, then
you know, just enjoy what he gives us. But he does look good when he's walking in that photo.
Oh wait, I thought you said no.
Trying
He's
to
talking
get
about
on that diet.
That's fine.
I can finally touch my first woman.
I think he's
probably.
my first woman.
Maybe you should go on a USO tour.
He surfs. He surfs daily. He's massively into. He loves skateboarding. Anyway, listen. At the end of the day, I applaud the guy for doing what's good for him. As long as he's forthright with whoever his potential employers would be, no problem. So yeah, I think it's all good. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about that? Do you think maybe you could do the types of stuff that some of these actors have to do, constantly being, do 50 interviews in a day, being put under a microscope, all that kind of stuff? The pressures are kind of big. The rewards are big, but it doesn't take away from the pressures of it. How do you guys feel about that? Jump down in the comment section below.
I think I'm just gonna
and
level
leave
this
your
fucking thing
thoughts
up.
there. All right, guys. With that down,
Because this
let's
shield
move on to
break on
main
it is
topic
so
number
good.
2. Rob, what's our second main topic
Yeah, so much
today?
shatter.
Well, Kyle writes in and says, "Hey y'all, so the axe strikes again. I just saw an article on Wednesday stating that HBO Max is getting ready to purge 40 pieces of content, 20 of its Max originals. Why would WB toss Max originals that's already completed into the trash? And what other project could be next on the chopping block?"
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, man. And yeah, a whole bunch of more content is being removed from HBO Max. A bunch of it HBO Max original. Some of it is acquired licensed content and stuff like that. And listen, for a lot of people who don't know the inside of the business and how this all stuff works, it's a very reasonable question. Well, it's yours.
Oh, because he's a mech. That's why it doesn't.
Why
Wait a minute.
not
This is
just
Frost.
leave it
It's
there?
supposed to do
What's the
extra damage to
point?
Max.
It's a completely rational question.
Why is that so weak?
Of taking it and throwing it
Is it
away.
because I'm not getting headshots?
Well, it looks like there actually is a reason they're doing this. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety. What's with that Kroger picture?
Man, that's me walking into work every day.
Except it's a coffee in your
Yeah.
hand instead of a mic. This comes from Variety writes this. As we work towards bringing our content catalogs together under one platform, we will be making changes to the content offering available on both HBO Max and Discovery Plus. HBO Max's statement reads, that will include the removal of some content from both platforms. Taking off the titles. Now, this is the key part that Variety puts in here. Taking off the titles from streaming would also help Warner Brothers Discovery cut
I
costs
kinda like this
by
skin.
removing lesser
I wanna
watched
level that up
programs
just for fun.
to save money on residuals. An exact
But
date or
then-
time when the
I
titles
mean,
will
I
be
have it
taken
all the way
off
up to
has
6
not yet been
stars, right?
announced.
Might as well
All right.
enhance it a little
So
bit.
the basic underlying premise here is this. There is stuff they have on their service that nobody watches, but they still have to pay money in residual fees just for it being there. So one, it's a piece of content that's not making us any money, but two, it's a piece of content that is costing us money. And therefore they went, okay.
What's the
we're gonna
shatter
remove
on
it.
this thing?
Now,
It's like
the
16.
other
It's
interesting
pretty
thing
good.
about this is besides the
SS.
fact that is going to stop them having to pay residuals on content that no longer sits on their streaming service, it opens up the possibilities that they can license some of this content out to other platforms. Now, that's not saying that they're going to do that, but it does open up the option that, hey, there may be other platforms that
Why-
are starving for
why did it
more
stop
content.
shooting?
This gives them something. What's interesting to me, though, Rob, is I went into the article and I looked at all the shows getting cut. I'm not going to lie. Not one bit of exaggeration. I haven't heard of a single one of these things. Haven't heard of any of them. So things like The 12 Dates of Christmas, Aquaman, King of Atlantis. I mean, obviously I've heard of Aquaman. I've not heard of this. Close Enough, Ellen's Next Great Designer, Esme and Roy, The Fungies, Generation Hustle, Infinity Train, not to be confused with Infinity War. I don't know if that's a, what's the name of the studio again?
Asylum.
I don't know if that's an Asylum thing or not.
Or a porn movie.
No, it's
Or-
an animated series, and I actually do want to watch it.
You know
I want
that
to check
one?
it out.
You better
Yeah, I'm
hurry.
not very,
Yeah,
Tig
3
and
days.
Speak, the Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs, which I'm
Nice.
assuming has something to do with the Flintstones, but I've never heard of it. Dodo, Elliot from Earth, Mighty Magi Swords, OKKO, Let's Be Heroes. And I'm not dissing on any of these. I'm saying I've never heard of these. So Warner Brothers is basically saying, look, these are, what was the quote in there again? Original, where is it? Helps to serve cut costs for moving. Okay, these are lesser watched programs. That's a nice way of saying nobody watches this. It's not generating them any income. It's costing us money to pay residuals just for it existing on the platform. We got to get rid of stuff.
Thank you for the follow.
I think HBO, what Warner Brothers wants to do with HBO is make it so, listen, we're not going to become Netflix, where 90% of the stuff that's living on Netflix is stuff most people are never going to click on and watch. We want to have a more premium feel. So while at first I read that too and think, well, that's kind of a weird thing to do, but it actually, from a business point of view, really does make sense. I don't know, Rob, you heard about this. What's your perspective on it?
Okay, I think what HBO Max is doing, or what Warner Brothers and Discovery are doing, is fine. It's a monetary decision, like you said. I think they want to keep it a premium service, not fill it up with stuff that people... They want people to watch everything. That makes complete sense to me. What I think this bodes... I think it's ominous for the future of cinema. Because most of the movies that are made, I always say pop culture has a half-life of 20 years. And go beyond 20 years. How many people are watching?
Oh, Needle
movies?
Beast. I'm like looking for
E.T. gets re-released in the theater 40 years later. Poltergeist is getting a 4K release. You know, famous movies are.
But that's one out of every 30 or 40.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And so our rich cinema history, because of streaming, you can see how many people are watching these movies. Well, as the years go by, people know these films less and less and less, so they're not going to watch them. You know, and unless there's a concerted effort to protect our cinematic legacy and make sure that there's a place where people go. That's why I physical media. You know, that's why I buy physical media, so stuff doesn't go away. Like Edge of Tomorrow. The only way we could see it on Movie Club is if you paid for it, because it's not on a streaming service. I mean, I have 3 different versions on disc, but I would hope that streaming does not become the litmus test for how all of our rich cinematic legacy is judged. Because HBO Max is like, you know, no one's watching Lawrence of Arabia anymore. So we're going to take it off. And then suddenly it's not available anywhere because that's a movie from the early 60s. And I would hope that movies are preserved. I mean, in the streaming era, it shouldn't be the end-all, be-all of our cinematic legacy. Now, John, there's been a lot of garbage that's been made for the last 100 years, and maybe some of it doesn't deserve to be seen again, but at least it should be preserved somewhere.
See, I agree with what you're saying. The 2 things I would want to keep in mind about it, though, are this. Number one, we forget that while the movie industry has been around for well over a century, this streaming world, everybody's still figuring it out.
Yes.
And so, like, things like contracts, distribution contracts,
waiting for,
are going to have to evolve where it's like, okay, if you're a streamer and you have our movie on,
what's the word?
You don't have to keep paying us for it.
So you don't have to have like 15 different subscriptions to watch residuals, all your favorite
just
shows.
For being there after 15 or 20 years.
That's
There's got to be a way that a streamer
right?
can
Like,
have
I gotta have a
something on their
subscription to
platform that's
Netflix
not costing them
and Disney
money
Plus and Amazon
The second
Prime
thing I would say is,
and HBO Max,
like
just so I can watch all of my favorite
where it
shows.
becomes financially viable. Let's say Lawrence of Arabia gets.
Shit adds
I don't
up
even
quick.
know if it's on a streaming service right now. But as long as
it's on my shelf in 4K at home,
there
though.
it is. But I mean, as long as there's a way that I can still get online and rent it if I wanted to watch it, as long as it's still there. So I think this points to the need that number one is a reminder to us
blue
that this
dots
is
tell
still
me
an
to go up there?
evolving landscape, and we're probably still got. I think they're still 5 to 10 years away from everybody really figuring it out. And then number 2, as long as the availability is still there, even if it's not on one of our free streaming services.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, Netflix paid for 1 year.
Hell yeah.
They licensed Friends for $100 million.
$100 million.
I mean, and that's an old show. So it shows that it shows, or it illustrates that certain things are valuable even as the years go by. And I think the argument could be made, well, Rob, if no one's watching these movies, do they still have value? Why keep them at all? Why preserve the negative? Why do we have them in our vaults? Why are we paying to store them?
Getting there.
And I get that. I understand that. But, you know, that's a very sort of American way of thinking. Yeah, it's old. Let's get rid of it and build something.
As long as there's a way that if you wanted to pay for it, you could still watch it.
Yeah, as long as it's preserved somewhere.
But here's the other thing that the Variety article didn't mention that I still think is worth bringing up. Every streaming service, from Netflix to HBO, whatever, every month, like there are literal YouTube channels that are just built on what is coming to Netflix this month and what is leaving Netflix this month.
Oh, you know what?
What is coming to the big streamers this month and what is leaving. It's still a revolving door with a lot of services. So
I forgot what it's
HBO
called.
Max has always had content come and go. Netflix always has content coming and going.
More group activities.
It's just that some of the reasons for it are changing a little bit.
Yes.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how this evolves. For now, What do you think about this move? I'm not going to lie. I've never watched or heard of any of the things that were on the list that were gone. What do you think about the
7-day
rationale?
sign-in
Could this
bonus.
be a sign of good things to come?
What is?
Could it be something that if they're
SSR
not careful
relic
of, like
shard
Rob's
box?
pointing out, of something negative if we don't keep our eyes on it?
Sick.
How do you guys feel about it? Jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to main topic number 3, shall we? Rob, what is our third main topic today?
It's so funny when you say that.
Instead of Chris.
Yeah. Warren writes in and says, I've heard you guys talk in the last couple of days about the possibility of Deadpool having a cameo in She-Hulk. So I thought you'd enjoy hearing that the star of the show, good Canadian kid, Tatiana Maslany, explained how such a cameo or crossover would work. Do you think this was just done in fun, or could she actually be hinting at the Canadian Merc showing up in the show?
Okay, this is
and this one too, Frontier
for
Clash
you guys who watch the show on a regular basis, you know
I might get
that the last couple of days, a lot of people brought up the idea of, because the first reactions to the first 4 episodes came out and said a lot of cameos. So you got a lot of people wondering, wouldn't Deadpool be the most obvious one to do? The comedic side of it, the fourth wall breaking,
whatever,
I mean, all that
shit
kind of stuff. It just seems like a natural match.
Void
for that.
riffs for
I've said
those
that
guys.
I don't believe that will
I haven't
happen.
done any
I don't
void
know that
riffs.
it's not going to happen, but I don't believe it's going to happen because
so these
Deadpool
reset every
is
day.
a
You get
billion-dollar franchise character. Do you really introduce the billion-dollar franchise character on a Disney Plus show? I have high doubts that they do. But that being said, Tatiana Maslany was being interviewed, and somebody brought up with her the idea of, what about Deadpool crossing paths with She-Hulk in a She-Hulk thing? And Tatiana Maslany had a great response to it. She said this. This comes us to CBR. Well, the picture's great pics. While it will be some time before the Merc with a Mouth arrives in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, She-Hulk Attorney-at-Law star Tatiana Maslany shared an idea regarding a crossover with Deadpool. During an interview with Kevin McCarthy, Maslany was asked if she could imagine both characters talking to the audience in a scene. This is what she said. Yeah, here's like a very meta thing, Maslany answered. Deadpool is from Regina, Saskatchewan. I lived for 7 years right beside Regina, a town called Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. But anyway, Deadpool is from Regina, Saskatchewan, right? Isn't he? Which is where I'm from, Tatiana Maslany says. So, like, this was a meant-to-be situation. I think we should both be in Regina, but I'm Tat in Regina, and Deadpool is Deadpool. But then it's Ryan
That's
Reynolds
actually funny.
and She-Hulk,
That's a really
and we
funny
get really
and
freaky
ironic
with it.
that's true.
You wouldn't leave the house without double checking your
Ads. Ads, quick. Get away from the ads. Stupid turret's fun to use. These guys probably have way higher combat score. That's why they're doing more damage today. Okay, now I should leave this. What the hell's going on? I'm too far away. I was like, wasn't doing any damage. That was weird. I'm actually starting to catch up now. To that Yazoo guy. I need to get my combat score up and get better gear. That's why I'm doing this. Oh shit. Forgot to
It's
unmute
from
the show
Orphan
after
Black.
the ad was
She's
over.
been to Comic-Con. She knows what fans are like. And she's obviously
Right,
a smart
Tatiana
woman
Maslany used to
and
be on
is
Orphan
having fun
Black.
with
I
it.
never watched that
So,
show, but I heard a lot of people really
I think
liked it.
maybe.
I'm still gonna set the over/under at 10%.
Yeah.
Like I still don't see the probability, even with all the Tatiana stuff and what she's saying. And it's great what she's saying. I still don't put it any higher than 10%.
I will say this though, you know, having now, and we'll talk about this later, but having seen the first episode, I also don't think that they're going to do something that would, this is gonna sound weird, but compromise the integrity of what they are building. I mean, with the comedy and the fourth wall breaking and all that stuff, like, but I still think that they're not going to go too far with it. It's not going to turn into a yuck fest. I think if they're going to do these things, they're going to work within the context of the show. So if they can make him work and it'll be good, they won't just throw him in to throw him in.
All right. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Does her comments, first of all, what do you think of her comments? I think her comments were amazing.
Hilarious.
But do her comments sway you at all in your thoughts about whether or not Deadpool would show up? I still say maximum 10% chance. What do you guys think about that? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. All right, guys, before we move on to main topic number 4 here, let's take another second to thank another sponsor of today's episode, our friends at Upside. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this episode, Upside. Guys, from cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us all where it hurts, and it really hurts. And that's why I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anybody who buys groceries, gas, or dines out. With every purchase, you are earning cash back thanks to Upside. And guys, believe me, I know. You hear about apps like this, and it turns out you have 40 or 50 hoops you have to jump through, but believe me, Upside is super easy to use. I know it sounds too good to be true, but it's not. I've used it, and it works. Upside is a no-brainer. To get started, download the free Upside app. Use my promo code CAMPIASHOW and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside, check in at the business, pay as usual with a credit card or debit card, and get paid. In comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. So guys, download the free Upside app and use the promo code CAMPIASHOW to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using the promo code CAMPIASHOW. And thank you to our friends at Upside for sponsoring this episode of the John Campia Show. Reminder, guys, that when you support our sponsors, you're actually supporting us. So the links and the promo codes to all of our sponsors, you'll find at the top of the description of this video. Go and support them again because it's supporting us. So thank you so much for that, guys. All right, that down. Let's move into main topic number 4. Rob, what is our 4th main topic today?
John, our 4th main topic today comes to us from Josh V117. Greetings, John and crew. So I was rewatching Avatar last week and only got halfway through. When I went to finish it today, it was gone. Whew. I searched all over Disney Plus and I couldn't find it. I found it was removed from the service with no explanation. Why do you think Avatar was removed, and do you think it has something to do with the re-release coming soon?
All right, so look, makes sense. We know we got the new Avatar movie finally coming out. I think a few years too late, but still, here it is. It's going to be a big hit. So yeah, it's like, you know what? Go back to, what's it called again?
Pandora.
I'm gonna go back to Pandora. I'm gonna go watch that original again. Totally makes sense. Absolutely. Oops. I did it again. It's gone. Now, the first thought that I have when I see that is, well, it's a Fox thing. And we've seen happen this with even on HBO with the Harry Potter films, stuff like that. Sometimes even some of these bigger movies, they had pre-existing contracts, licenses and stuff. And we've seen some big movies come onto a streaming service, be there for like a month, and then disappear. And I thought, well, this might have something to do with that because it was a 20th Century Fox thing, pre-made deals, all that kind of stuff. However, when that happens, it doesn't normally disappear from a streaming service worldwide. It's usually certain territories. This one just disappeared. This comes to us from the folks over What's on Disney Plus that wrote this. Disney has quietly removed the epic 20th Century Studios film Avatar, the biggest box office hit in cinematic history, from Disney Plus worldwide without informing subscribers in advance. While Disney regularly removes 20th Century Studio titles from Disney Plus in the US due to previous contracts with other streaming services, this removal has happened globally. Removing a film from Disney Plus ahead of a theatrical re-release
All right, I didn't get a purple.
has probably been done to try to encourage more
But I did
people
get
to go
some
see it in cinemas
See if I
before the
can
sequel
replace
arrives.
anything or make
And that
any
again comes to us
upgrades.
from What's on Disney Plus. Okay, number one, while it is totally has happened.
I can always
20th
do it
century
again,
movies have
too.
come and gone and stuff like that. I do believe
Do
they're
it
right here.
again.
Disney, I believe, while nobody at Disney has confirmed this for me, that this was done
Nucleus.
to encourage people to run out and see it in theaters when they do the re-release. And I feel two different ways about that.
Oh, I'm close to the next one.
On the one hand, I kind of think it's a good move because, yeah, if you're going to do this re-release in theaters
Can I
ahead
do
of
any rolls? Any polls?
they're probably going to make a couple million bucks on this. Padding its lead
We'll do
over
gold.
Avengers Endgame. It's the biggest box office hit of all time. Until, of course, before Avengers, the Kang Dynasty comes out, they re-release
You
Infinity
see,
War
we
and
got-
Endgame, so it can become the biggest film
Ooh.
again. But whatever, Disney's
Got an SR.
making money hands over fist. So I think that's why they're doing it. Again, we don't know that for a fact, but from what the information we have available to us,
gives me
which is the
more of
only thing we
these
can ever base
guys.
anything on, the information we have available to us, it looks to me that that's why they're doing it. And hey, yeah, get people back in theaters. The best place to experience Avatar is in the movie theaters rather than at home. It absolutely is. So you make some money, you give people the better experience, get all that. But Rob, there's also a part of this that doesn't really feel right.
Collect.
You know, you
Maybe
ask
4.
your
I'm gonna do 4 real quick.
consumers, hey, become a member of Disney Plus. Look at what we got. And there's going to be
Lame.
licensing issues sometimes. There are things that are beyond your control, absolutely. But to say to your subscribers on
Lame.
Disney Plus, we got this big thing coming. And now this piece of content is going to be more relevant than ever.
Lame.
So we're going to take it away from you. That's the part to me that
that's all.
does
Yeah,
not
no more.
feel right. And listen, I'm not gonna make a
How
mountain
many
out
of
of
these?
a
We can do some
molehill
of these,
here.
just
Like
some of these.
this isn't the be all end all. This
Yes.
doesn't shatter anything. But I don't know. On the one hand, I feel like it's a good move, business wise, and I get it and I understand it.
Another.
But on the other hand, saying, yeah, we're gonna temporarily take this away from you the time you want to watch it the most.
No more. Okay.
It feels like a curious decision, Rob. It
Oh,
feels
I'm
like a
so
curious
close.
decision. You
Oh,
see
I'm
this. Number one,
so
two questions for you.
close.
Why do you think they removed it
I
from
am
the service?
so
It looks like there's
close
only a couple options, maybe
to
you can
the
think of some others.
80,
And then number two,
dude.
how do you feel about it coming off?
Well, first of all, let me just say, John, you can either borrow my 3D disc or my extended version of Avatar for your PlayStation 5 in your new movie room. I'm happy to do that for you. But secondly, or firstly, look, I think it is all about this re-release, which we found out about at CinemaCon.
Yes.
And I actually was kind of excited about that because, you know,
I still am.
Yeah, I've often told the story about taking my mom, my unimaginative, very pragmatic mother, to see Avatar in IMAX 3D. And I've never seen her eyes as big as they were. Seeing that movie in a theater, and she was like, "How did they make that movie?" And she had a
The
sense
next
of wonder.
refit is
And I've
35.
not seen
Oh,
that in my
I'm
mom's
close
face.
to getting
And
the
I would
pink
love to
one.
see people. I mean, a whole generation of people
want
has
yellow,
been
though.
born that has
Ooh,
not
orange
seen
looks
Avatar
good
on the
too,
big
though.
screen
Orange is
in
almost
IMAX
yellow.
in
It's like
3D.
a yellow orange.
And I think that experience alone. I mean, people are going to
Dude,
ET
that
for
the
the first
color on
time
my
this
monitor
past
is
weekend.
really off.
And I think that their re-release of Avatar, look, they want to make a big splash, and there's nothing else coming out in September. So I think it's great that they're re-releasing it. I'm sure that was what motivated them taking that off. However, like you said, it's kind of, I mean, they always announce when things are coming and going. They did this very quietly.
Very quietly.
And as our viewer who's paying for Disney Plus, I watched half of Avatar because, you know, it's like 3 hours long, goes back to watch it, and it's just gone. Now, if I was a customer, I'd be pissed. I'm like, wait a minute. I was in the middle of this great movie. I know the sequel's coming out. I want to watch it, and then it's gone. Like, that's not cool.
And it will be back.
It'll be back. But
Oh,
it's like just, I think,
like
tell
do more
people.
polls.
But
I can
that's
do
our
mattress
future.
pulls.
You know, our future is whether you're
do some
renting
mattress
video
pulls.
games or if you don't own things and you have digital libraries that are reliant on other services.
Oh.
This is what's going to happen in the future. People could just take things away from
Wait,
you.
actually-
I should point out, it's
Wait a
still
minute.
available to rent.
Wait a minute,
If you
wait a
want to
minute,
go
wait a
online
minute.
and
Wait,
rent
wait a
Avatar,
minute.
it's still available to rent. And they didn't remove it. Like if you own a digital copy of Avatar,
that's good.
They have not like removed if you had paid $15 before to buy a digital copy of Avatar, it didn't disappear from your library. But
Right.
Disney Plus is taking it down.
Yeah, I mean, and this
I
is
don't
going to
know how I feel
happen.
about that.
It's going to happen more and more. I mean, I think as they lose licenses or eventually, like you said, the streaming services are still trying to figure all this out.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a main, it doesn't get much bigger than Avatar. And if they're going to take that off your streaming service, the one place it's available to stream, I think it's kind of not good if they
You
don't
know
tell.
what? You know what you need to do now, right, John? Borrow Rob's disc. Go online. Start selling tickets to the Campia Theater to watch it there.
The
Since
TCS
somebody can watch
Theater.
it.
One night exclusive only.
We'll make a
That's pretty
killing.
good.
Oh boy!
$1,500 a ticket. For $2,500, you get a post-movie meet and greet with Robert Meyer Burnett.
There you go.
Yep.
And then you can come to my house and watch it in 3D.
And bring all your scripts. Rob would
And
love
Rob
to
would
read
love to
all
read
of
Oh
those
no!
scripts.
Don't say that.
They did the same thing around
bring all
when
your
when
scripts.
the last Spider-Man movie came out. They removed even like Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, the Amazing Spider-Man. They took all that stuff off streaming. You could purchase purchase the digital copy, but you could not stream it because everyone wanted to like watch those and they knew it.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. No, and by the way, we're all operating on the assumption that that's why they took it down.
Right.
We don't know for a fact that's true. We may actually get a press release to find out that it was something else,
okay.
maybe. But
Be right back.
if this is
I gotta grab a drink, take a piss real quick, and I will be back in 2 minutes. Oh, yeah. Where'd that yawn come from? Came out of nowhere. Crack open the cold one. Late night game sesh. Oh, I see black nucleus down there. I spy with my eye black nucleus. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Now, that's right. I was on my way. Oh, there's a supply pod right over here. And there's also a thingy right here. Oh, so much stuff everywhere. Flower. Oh, I need my fire one for this one. Where's my fire weapon? Switch. Switch to the fire weapon. Where is it at? Where's that? Here we go. Nice. There's another one over here too. Oh, I think it's this thing. I don't want to do these right now, actually. I'll farm these later. Right now I want to do this. See if I can get those falcon great arms. Because I don't have falcon. See, I have the helmet, I have the shoulders, I got the chest, I have the legs. I don't have the feet, I don't have the belt, I don't have the bracers, I don't have the gloves. Oh, I did get a purple. Oh, cool. I got boots. Oh, I did get the gloves. Nice. Enhancement transfer? Yeah, I'll retain. Equip. Equip. That's this. I already have that one. It's worse. So let's enhance the purple. Right? Enhance the purple. Can I advance it? Let's advance it too. Get a bunch of combat score out of these guys. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I have to switch this weapon. That's why my score is so low right now. Put this one back. Now where am I at? Ooh, I'm in the 7,000 now. That's better. So I should just enhance the shit out of these, right? Because they're purple. Oh, I don't have enough. Any more booster modules? Ore shard boxes. Let's go back to doing those mattress pulls. me an SSR. How sweet would it be? Could I have so many of those guys? Oh, I don't know if I have that one. Not even an SR, man. All right. The Sobek one is good. That one's good for me. I might want to do that one. Should probably save though for now. I need to have higher combat score. Alright then, let's go do some more of these things. I kinda wanna complete all of these anyways. Just to have them complete. Be a completionist. On all difficulty.
That's the reason they took it down.
You know, I have one more theory about why they've done this. I think maybe with this re-release, with this re-release, maybe Cameron went and made some tweaks. And
That's
when
what someone was saying in the chat,
all right,
that they did redo some of the.
Yeah, they might have redone some of the effects, and this is the
George Lucased it a little bit. You think?
Well, I think it just. I don't think so that he fundamentally changed things. Like I don't think Greedo shoots first or anything like that.
You don't think there's gonna be a big musical number at the Tree of Life or whatever?
No, there could be. You know,
like a little Pandorian rock band.
Maybe the scene where they smoke some dank Pandoran nugs, you know, and strum those guitaristas. You know, I don't think it's going to happen. But I mean, in all seriousness, they might have gone back and fixed some things. And Cameron pulled down the old version. They're going to put the new one back up.
And they want it to first be seen on the big screen.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
I would be a little bit more understanding if that was the case. Like, you know what, we have taken the original film. We've made a couple of improvements to it, and we want the first place that people to see that to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
I would be a little bit more understanding that.
And that'll be a selling point.
Yeah.
Come see Avatar like you've never seen it before.
They're purple now.
But now I don't.
Purple now.
You just have to slide that.
That means they sing some Prince songs. But the thing is, I don't know that for sure. That's just speculation.
All right, guys, question is for you. How do you feel about this whole thing? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below.
That was easy enough.
And leave those thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's move into our fifth and final main topic today. Rob,
Activate.
what is our fifth topic today?
Well, John,
left
I can
headphone
guess.
keeps going in.
Alan
I
G
need
says, hey, John and
cable.
team. So I watched She-Hulk last night, and I really enjoyed it. The Jennifer character is fantastic, and I think the thing I loved most about it was just the conversations between her and Bruce. I noticed that every clip with Bruce in the trailers was in this first episode. Do you think that's all we're going to get of Hulk in this show, or do you think he'll turn up again? Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Alan. And yeah, sat down, watched She-Hulk last night. Now, I have been expecting a great half-hour legal comedy that takes place in the cinematic universe. That's kind of what I've been expecting. So I sat down and watched it last night. And I was surprised in two ways. In one way, I was surprised how much I liked the show. I was surprised how much I like everything about Bruce and getting, and, you know, we're going to, by the way, we have, I don't know if you have the graphic there for Jonathan or not, but a little bit later today at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time today, Rob and I are going to do our open She-Hulk after show, open spoiler discussion, 3 p.m. Make sure you guys come back and join us for that. So we're going to talk in some very non-spoilery ways here. But a lot of the stuff about Bruce I thought was great and riveting. The way they told the story, the way they set up the origin, all that kind of stuff. I found myself just purely
How did I not land on it?
enjoying the show. Like, really enjoying the show. The second surprise, though, to me, was that I did not find it nearly as funny as I thought I would. And, you know, producer Jonathan brought up a really good point. When I was mentioning that to Jonathan this morning, it's like I really liked it. Like, I thought it was better than I thought it would be. But I was going in there getting ready for a lot of laughs, and it didn't really deliver that.
This is hard.
And Jonathan asked me a great question. He said, well, now, did it not deliver laughs because the jokes didn't work, or did it not deliver laughs because there weren't as many jokes as you thought? I said it's the second one. They didn't go for a lot of the big laughs. There was only like 3 or 4 points in the show I felt like they went for the big laughs, and they were effective. I was just expecting a laugh. I really was. So, whatever. I still really, really quite enjoyed the show. But also, it was neat for me because our buddy Ryan came over. I sat down, I was watching, and Ann was beside me watching it. And the one scene that I thought my wife was going to die in was a scene that was in the trailer. When Hulk says the main triggering factors are fear and anxiety. And Jennifer's like, these are the base emotions of women. What are you talking about? I don't think Ann had seen that trailer because Ann lost her mind. Because it's so really, it's so fucking true. Like, she's laughing. But there was one other thing. There's a moment in the episode, and we'll talk about it in the open spoiler. I'll say there's a moment in the episode where Jennifer is talking to Bruce, and she kind of opens her heart up a little bit and tells him about just experiences she's had and why she as a woman is angry a lot and has had to control her anger a lot. And I looked over at my wife Ann, and I looked over because I heard a sniff. And I looked over at my wife Ann, and she literally had tears in her eyes. And we'll go into what exactly Jennifer said in the open after show later. But I remember talking to Ann afterwards. She goes, that's my life. Which she talked about in that moment. That has been my life. And I think sometimes as a man, I forget that women sometimes have different experiences than we do. And apparently, I can't say this directly, but apparently it speaks directly to that. And so again, for me, not as funny as I was hoping it would be, but a better episode of television than I thought it was going to be. So I quite enjoyed it. Rob,
is that
in a
one
non-spoilery way,
I can do that.
I can do that.
Come on.
Totally
Put it up, Jonathan.
What did you think of the first episode of She-Hulk?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great first episode.
Possible. We need to make another one. That's impossible.
Princess Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Men will soon put the realm to the torch.
It was a great first episode. I really did enjoy it. I was actually surprised. I mean, this was not an inexpensive episode of TV.
Oh God, no.
Because, you know, people talked about, I thought the CGI was great on both Jennifer and the Hulk, and there was a lot of them in this episode. I would imagine we're going to see a lot less hulking out later as we move on in the series. I think that they also set up the fact that there's a question posed. Why is this particular thing?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that will come into play. I do think that we'll see Hulk again answering the question, and that answer will lead elsewhere. But that's just speculation. But I mean, look at this. This was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed this. But what I thought was great about this show was
fun.
We got insight,
fun
so much
episode.
insight into what it means to be a
really
Hulk.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know, with stuff that we haven't dealt with in the MCU. And I really felt something Like this made
Oh,
Banner one of
that's
my
a big
favorite MCU
jump.
characters.
Never
This
mind,
episode of
can't do
TV
that.
because they haven't spent that much time. You know, when he said things in the past like "I'm always angry," you know, that's the secret. Or when he was talking to Nat, you know, about being a monster, and that was great stuff. But
there were moments.
There were moments.
Yeah.
And this was really interesting. I was like, I'm like, this is fascinating stuff that I didn't expect to get. But like you, it was comedic. And we've seen the trailer shows you that it's going to be fun and it's not heavy.
Yeah, it's not heavy.
But it wasn't as jokey like you as I thought. I thought the humor worked. There wasn't anything where I was like, wah, wah, wah. You know, it was really well earned, and I thought it was. I thought it was a great hour or a great half hour, great. 38 minutes of television. I really enjoyed it, and I thought.
And by the way, post-credit scene was gret. It was great.
My God, and pays off. It's so good, and her delivery, and she's fantastic.
Yeah, Tatiana.
In the role.
There's a reason she's an award-winning actress.
You know, this was my first exposure to this actress, and I found her charming. Like she's great. I think my only problem with it, I really liked the episode. I wasn't expecting a lot of laughs, but my only problem with it now is I don't know if that 30 minutes, no matter how good the episode is worth me staying up till 12. That's my only dilemma now.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the next episode for sure, but staying up for 30 minutes, no matter how good it is, that's my personal feeling on it.
We'll get up early and watch it in the morning.
Yeah, you gotta watch in the morning.
Yeah.
But this brings up another issue. By the way, they asked, do we think we're going to see Hulk again? I now think I don't know that I don't think we're going to see Banner again. I could be wrong about that.
I think we are because the question's going to be answered.
But that might be a question that gets answered in another movie
or another
thing somewhere down. But here's the thing too, like we were talking about this before the show started. Yesterday, we talked about the news that Lord of the Rings of Power is going to launch with 2 episodes. And one of the things I said was, the reason I think that's great is because, especially with new shows, it takes more than the first episode to really get a feel for what this show is. And especially, like Ray, you were saying, especially being a 30-minute show, I really felt they should have done that with She-Hulk. After watching that first episode, I really feel like they should have launched with the first 2 episodes to give us a better sense of what the show really is. But listen, I thought the first episode, very strong start. Again, not as funny as I was hoping it would be, but a very strong start nonetheless. Then again, I thought, I thought Boba Fett was a very strong start too. But by the way, I thought Obi-Wan was a really strong start too. So this one had a strong start, but it would have been really nice to get the first couple of episodes, get a better feel for it, especially since the fact that it's 9 episodes, right? So they had a little bit of wiggle room there.
Do you think it showed enough where people could already decide whether this show's for them or not? Do you think it showed enough of what it's giving? I thought it did.
I'll say this.
I thought it did.
I think if there are people, like any movie or TV show, I think there are people who are just really turned off by it and it didn't work for them at all. Probably. I think there are going to be a bunch of people that are going to feel like that was definitely enough for me to come back again next week, but the jury's still out a little bit. But it's enough for me to come back next week and see what they got. I don't know, Rob, what do you think about that?
Well, Elizabeth, I asked her that very question. She goes, because she's so superheroed out. She's so tired of all the, and she said to me after it was over, she goes, okay, I'll watch that.
Yes.
And she enjoyed it. And so I was like, okay, and I think that it was entertaining enough. And not only that, it was just interesting. There was Hulk world building going on that I thought was fascinating.
This is the ruins?
I quite again today at 3
like
p.m. guys. The She-Hulk after show, our open spoiler discussion. Make sure you guys come back and join us for that because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll go into all the details. We want to hear about your thoughts of it and your theories and whatever. We'll get into that a little bit later today. Make sure you come back and join us for that. All right, guys. with all that down now, we're going to move into our open questions that you guys are going to send in. Your thoughts, your theories, your opinions, your questions. You can send those in now. So we're going to open up the super chats so you guys can do that. Be quick, though, because we only leave the super chats open for a few minutes. So get those in as fast as you can.
Fucking chunking
before we
me.
get to those questions, guys, we're going to take a
What is
second
this?
and
The
thank
recommended
another
combat
sponsor of
score
today's
for
show.
this.
Man, the Hulk could use these guys, our friends at Manscaped. We want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Now, guys, you know I love Manscaped. You've heard me go on and on about the Lawnmower 4.0 and that body wash. I love it so much. And so we gotta ask, guys, have you started your spring cleaning yet? The carpets need cleaning, the drapes need dusting, and your lawn needs mowing, gentlemen. And you guys know Manscaped is more than just one product. They have a whole lineup of products to help you guys feeling, smelling, and looking your best. And so Manscaped is proud to present to you the Performance Package 4.0, which is the only tool that you need to keep your boys looking, smelling, and feeling good this spring. Now, to start off with, you get the Lawnmower 4.0. Guys, we have talked about this. What is wrong with us? Why have we for so long been using these terrible tools that were never meant for cutting our hair down there? The razor clipper things on our electric razors. That's barbaric, guys. You need the Lawnmower 4.0. And then there's the Weed Whacker. You guys have heard our own Ray Ora talk about this, and he loves using it to get that hair in your nose and the ear hair. And then they offer lots of other stuff like the Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. The Crop Reviver. It's a spray-on toner for your balls. And of course, they've got the perfect grooming tool for your face with the Plow 2.0, the perfect razor for the finest shave on that face. So guys, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code CAMPEA. That's CAMPEA at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the promo code CAMPEA at manscaped.com. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life.
And thanks to our sponsor of this episode of the John Campea Show, Manscaped. It's always a good thing.
The beyond
Be prepared. So, Ray.
Yeah.
Do you have anything from our viewers in the live chat?
Yeah, we got one from Mike's Movie Madness. He says, "Hey, John and crew, excited for She-Hulk after work today. Game day. I had an idea for an after-show segment.
I didn't even.
John's
I'm not even
bar
facing the right
exam,
direction.
where John briefs us some of the lost stuff in the show."
That's not a bad idea.
I know that is not a bad idea.
I'm going to bring that up to him. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because he's at the bar exam right now.
He is at the bar exam right now. But he's drinking.
Yeah. All right. And we got one last one from a viewer that's in here every day watching us. Slice of Brie. She says, "She-Hulk and the Campea crew in one day. Pretty sweet birthday I'm having. Love you guys to the moon and back. Happy birthday, Slice of Brie."
Happy birthday, Slice of Brie. I hope you have a good one, and thanks for celebrating it with us.
So bring up, let's say, Mike's Movie Madness suggestion.
So Mike's Movie Madness had a great suggestion, John.
What's that?
He said that we do some kind of a legal brief segment of our after shows where you bring your legal acumen to bear on the accuracy or comment on the legal cases before the court that Jennifer must take on.
Cool idea.
It's a great idea.
I mean, there wasn't much of that in episode 1.
No.
But maybe we could look at that a little bit later.
I think that'd be cool.
That reminds me of, like, if we did a Bob's Burgers, like, let's say we did. There's a lot of cooking stuff in there that's real stuff, like
you try to cook
it. No, like, it's real tips on how to cook certain things, and I was like, I should review this show.
Or try it.
Oh my God, I just fucking.
All right, let's get over to our super chats then.
All right, let's do that. Josh Becker says, will there be a House of Dragon pregame show?
You know what? Okay, so there will be a House of Dragon pregame show, but not for episode 1. Reason being is nothing about the show.
Right.
I mean, I know nothing about these hundreds of years before the events. And that was She-Hulk. We know the MCU. We know the world. We can talk. We can speculate. So there will be a pregame show once we get to episode 2. Once we get into episode 2, but there won't be for episode. But you know there's going to be an after show on Monday about House of the Dragon. So very, very, of course, the first episode drops on Sunday. So excited for this.
Bruh.
So there will be an after show on Monday.
Just a quick one that someone threw in last second from a premium member. I don't know if you wanted me to read it now.
Well, let's finish on this though thing first. So,
sorry.
But I mean, it makes sense though not to do a pre-show for the first episode when we just know nothing about the show, right?
Should we call our pre-show Little House of the Dragon?
Because all we would be doing is really talking about the trailer.
Right.
That's all we have to go on.
That's all we know.
Whereas with She-Hulk, or even with Lord of the Rings, like we have, or even, we know the Star Wars universe. We know the MCU. So yeah. Hey, what's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. We still don't have a way to do this, but Casey McGrew says, "Hey guys, I watched Sandman and really loved the show. If there's a season 2, where can the show go from where it left off? I've never read the comics, so I'm interested to." In some
okay,
theories.
so we can't talk about where the show goes because a lot of people have. I'm one of them. I haven't finished the series yet, so we can't talk about that. But I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I'm still only up to episode 6. I haven't been able to pick up from there because I've had a lot of stuff to watch.
Right.
But I've been.
Dude, I can't tell what this guy.
I can say this.
I can't
The
tell when
second
he's
season
gonna
would
attack.
have my very favorite
so-
Sandman story in it. A long, extended story. Well, if they
Have
follow...
they said that that's what they would do that story? They did
No,
season
but I
2?
mean, the first season, they follow pretty religiously. I mean,
Right.
there's some things that they changed around, like the Hobgoblin story and Death, putting those together. But they've been very, very faithful to the comics.
All right. What's
And
next?
also, Tumbling Tornado gifted 10 John Campion memberships.
Wow.
Thank you. That's always so cool when they do that for the other
I
viewers.
love that.
That is amazing.
Actually, it's Tumbling Turdnado.
Tumbling
Tumbling
Turd.
Turdnado. Thank you so much for doing that, man. That's incredibly generous of
I
you
wouldn't
for
want to be
our
caught in
members.
one,
That's
though.
great.
Tumbling to Dildo, Canada.
Okay. All right.
That's in Newfoundland.
How
What's
am I
next?
supposed to evade that
Ben Rayner says,
when I can only?
I'm like you, Campia.
dash so many
I'm
times.
digital movies all the way. Come on, man.
Wrong guy.
I'm digital movies all the way. But most of the time, I buy a movie through iTunes and Amazon. That way, I still, quote unquote, own digital copies and features.
Yeah, I still will buy movies from time to time, and they're in my library. The great thing
can't.
about
There's
that
no
is
way to evade
right now,
that.
if I wanted to let Rob just answer the rest of the questions, I can
I don't
open this up.
know
I
what
can
I'm
sit back
supposed
and
to
watch my
do.
entire library that I own.
On a phone.
It's right here. Yeah, that's the way it works. You know what? Here's the thing. Even if they remove my favorite movie of all, let's say they took Star Wars down. I bought the Star Wars collection, obviously. So say they took it down. Okay.
I'm trying to run
I still
away.
didn't have
I
to
can't
spend
get
however
away
much
from
money I would have had to
those.
on a
There's
physical
no
disc.
getting away from them.
It wouldn't have just been collecting dust, taking up space in my house, taking up all this kind of
There's
stuff.
no
A
escaping
lot of them
this
probably
shit,
go
dude.
missing, and somebody borrows them, or where did this one go, or whatever. It's like open up a case away. That's not the right movie in there.
You
I
just
mean,
have to
it
have
still
better
would have
gear.
been worth
That's
it to
all it
save
is.
me
You
all the
just have to-
hassle. That being physical. Now, that's not to take away any of the advantages of physical.
I don't think
Absolutely,
this
I'm
is
not
supposed to
disputing
be
that.
happening.
But for
Is this a
people like
bug?
me, it's just far better and far more convenient to have it this way.
What is going on?
I'd buy that.
And for others, the advantages of physical are more important than the people like me, where the advantages
think
of
this is
digital are more
bugged.
important. It all depends on what's a priority for you guys.
I agree.
All right, what's next?
Very steep. Andy, one of two, says Nexstar may have bought up the CW, but the real owners are actually the boys from SPN. Jared is the EP of Walker and its prequel. Jensen is the EP of The Winchester, and Misha is in Gotham Knights.
I don't think Gotham Knights is going to happen. I
This
think
is
the
not possible.
Winchesters looks like one of the worst things I've. I mean, it's just a trailer. Just a trailer. I'm only judging the trailer. That's it, not the show itself. But the trailer was awful, and I've never seen Walker. So I mean, now they stay involved, but I would not say they have any real major sway at CW at this point.
What is
Unfortunately,
the
Probably no.
but I do love
recommended
those guys. Love
like
those guys.
CS?
All right, what's
for
next?
this shit?
Justin Lee says, for
Oh,
Rob, all
no
right,
wonder.
LA and other cities around the world will be
No
lit
wonder.
pink at the same time for Blackpink's comeback this week. They'll also be in LA for the VMAs. Wait a minute. What?
Try this one.
You mean La Lisa is going to be here in LA?
What's a Lalisa?
She's one of the members of Blackpink.
All right.
Lisa, my favorite member of Blackpink. Do you know anybody in the press that can, get somebody an interview?
Yeah, no, you
will
got
not do that.
I did not realize they're lighting up. I'm going to light my house up pink for Black. They also
Jesus
have a
Christ,
big
Rob.
album thing coming
Fucking
out.
simping
All
so
right, well,
hard
Where's this
for
comeback?
Blackpink.
They've never gone away. They're in my area all
Hang
day
on a
and every
second.
day.
It looks
Blackpink's
like
awesome.
our
I'd simp for them too.
stream we're frozen.
Especially
we have
Lisa.
a connection. We have internet, but it looks like it's a YouTube thing. I tried.
Could be a YouTube thing. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you gotta.
No one's saying anything.
Yeah, but guys, are you able to like hear us or whatever?
Oh, not frozen.
Some people are saying it's fine.
They say
How am I
it's fine.
supposed to get up there?
All right. Well, I'm not getting on my end, but that's fine. All right.
Okay,
Go ahead.
everything's saying it's good. All right, let's keep rolling. What's next?
We have to scroll down.
Oh, we did Andy.
We did
We're on
Andy,
Justin, yeah.
but I got to go down further. No, other way.
This is
You can
Justin.
go
right
up.
here.
Yeah. So
jump
now
from
we just answered the
I
black
just did
pig.
Justin. Yeah, there we go. In my humble opinion, reviews said, "Happy birthday to the late, great Patrick Swayze. Underrated film by him is Next of Kin." I love Next of Kin.
You know what? I don't think I've seen that.
It's a good movie. It's got a lot of revenge in it. It's good.
Well, that's always good.
A lot of
Revenge
action.
is always good.
It's good.
All right, what's next?
It's good. Ryan Lohner says, "Can you imagine how much the Harley Quinn writers are just dying to do some meta jokes about Zaslav and Ezra's situation?" Season 4 right there.
Oh, you know they're going to.
Oh, for sure.
But it won't be season 4 though, because apparently, like we talked about this last week, apparently season 4 is done.
Yeah.
They've already got the episodes listing and all that kind of stuff, so it may not be in episode 4, but maybe they can squeeze something in. It would be pretty fun.
Can you imagine if they just bring Flash into the show and do something?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. All right, what's next?
Jim 1 says, "I've been loving best movie, worst movie. I would love to see you cover Bond." Oh, that's a really
That's
good
a good one to
idea.
do.
Especially as Rob is a big fan. My choice for best would be For Your Eyes Only.
Well, here's the thing: if we told you what our best would be, then there'd be no point in us doing that as an
Right.
episode of best movie, worst movie. So, but I think that is a great idea for a best movie, worst movie.
I can tell you, neither my best nor worst would be For Your Eyes Only.
I will tell you this: the next episode of best movie, worst movie, which we are recording today, the topic is best and worst horror movies of the 90s. Horror movies of the 90s is the next episode of best movie, worst movie. Make sure you guys join us for that.
90s
All
horror
right, what's
movies.
next?
Scream.
Amin
Scream was a
says,
good one.
if we get Spidey
original.
4, could they announce it at D23?
Not the sequels though, but the first. one.
Possibly.
Yeah, would that be the event that they would announce something like that on?
Oh, D23 is definitely the event you would announce. That they drop bombs. At this
Although
thing.
that's a Sony movie.
We are going to be there, but it does involve the MCU. So we are going to be there. Rob and I are going to be at D23. We will be reporting from there. But I do not expect that we're going to hear a Spider-Man 4
I didn't even check what the
announcement at this
CS
point.
was for this.
All right, what's next?
Might be way
Al
above
Renshaw
me.
says, without spoilers, did we get an answer to who is in the ship that drops in front of the car?
We're not going to discuss that. We'll come back
Oh,
for
this is
the
definitely
open
gonna
spoiler
be way
discussion
above
later,
me.
but giving any answer to that would in and of itself be a
Yes,
spoiler.
I agree.
All right, what's next?
Jason Frost says, I enjoyed She-Hulk, but personally felt like a second episode had needed to drop with it, as most of the scenes were in the trailer or featurettes.
I agree.
I agree too.
And again, I really thought it was a very solid episode. For me.
My chat disconnected.
Okay, go ahead and reset the router.
All right. We're up now.
We're up now.
Looks like it.
Is the show running?
Yeah.
Oh, the show is running.
Yep. Everyone's
Okay.
saying it's back. Yeah.
Everybody's saying it's back. Okay.
Back, baby.
I don't know if this has been
Yeah.
a YouTube issue or if it's been our internet issue today. So sorry about that, guys.
Back,
All right.
baby.
In that case, let's keep going. What's next?
Stubble McShave says, I wonder what Cameron thinks of Disney Plus removing Avatar. Could it impact Avatar 2 negatively if Avatar is not available on Disney Plus when Avatar 2 is released?
No. I you know what? I feel I don't know anything about this. As a 100% certainty, but there is a very, very, very infinitesimal chance that James Cameron wasn't consulted or knows something about this. He's one of those players where not any director. James Cameron is one of the 3 or 4 who does wield that kind of stuff that I'm sure he is aware of. But no, this isn't going to negatively impact a second. All right, what's next?
Andy says HBO Max just took off 30% off their no-ad yearly subscription. It went from $150 a year to $105 a year. I just renewed my annual sub last week. I'm hella salty ASF.
Oh, really? They just discounted? Let me see that question again. So they took 30% off their non-ad
Yearly subscription.
On ads too?
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's almost $50. That's
I know.
That's
They also
a
took off
crazy-
30% off of their.
You should call and bitch, and maybe they'll give you that money back, or maybe they'll refund you or something.
Yeah,
but
I
look,
would. I
this
would be
is true
like,
of anything,
listen,
right? You buy
I
a
just
computer, and
renewed
then the next day
right
find out
before
it
you
goes
dropped
on
this
sale. I mean,
deal.
that's the
Fuck
reality
you.
of being a
Give me-
consumer.
give me a
Whenever
discount,
you buy
you
or get anything,
fucking
you run the risk that
assholes.
tomorrow the price on it may drop. So you get it when you get it. But really, huge.
It is huge.
I'm surprised they are because like $15 a month is a great value for the kind of content that's on there. So I'm surprised they dropped the price.
Yeah, I mean, and hell with that discount.
I mean, again, I don't know if you're
Re-up.
correct. You might be wrong. I haven't seen this myself. I'm just going off what you tell me, but that's really good. All right, what's next?
Louis Tong says, show idea. Rob's video show. Show where Rob showcases, reviews, deep dives into a movie from his physical media collection. Bring on the filthy. I used to do that. You know, I was going through my...
Ads. No ads. Get away.
titles from each letter of the alphabet, but I stopped at G.
You gotta catch them
And
fast.
people are always writing, when are you going to do the rest of the alphabet?
But I asked this seriously, okay, as a serious question.
not gonna be able
as
to beat
from
the
a
boss,
programming
but-
point of view. Did that particular video, in relation to some of your other content, did that get a lot of views?
No.
Yeah, so that's exactly, I mean, it's a very interesting show idea, but one of the questions we have to ask, because every show we make costs money. Because everybody who works here gets paid. The office that we're in, we got to pay rents on. Like all that kind of stuff. So everything we do costs money.
too
So we
low for
always
it.
have to
I'm
ask the
just too
question,
low for this.
in any video content that we produce,
I gotta do
is
like
that
something
going to
else
get
for
people
you.
to watch it? And I don't think that would get people to
Well,
watch
you know,
it.
I do a physical media show every Sunday at 11 o'clock in the afternoon with Dieter Bastian from
let's get physical.
Saarbrücken, Deutschland.
Great
Yeah,
idea
let's
for
get
sure.
physical media. And we only get 3,000 to 4,000 views, and it's really expensive because Dieter and I show what we bought all week. So it's a deficit show. We never make enough in super chats or anything like that. We just basically do it just like, I gotta go buy more
What
discs.
is this?
All right, what's next?
I love doing it though, by the way. Brendan M says, "Hey y'all, Andor
I gotta
question:
relog.
Over or under 8%? We
Game
see
is
Alden as
fucked up
Han
right
or
now.
Glover as Lando in Andor. Love y'all and be well."
The
Okay, let's try.
That's actually a good
Glover
question.
question 0. I don't think you can get him. Alden Ehrenreich? Hey man, he's still in the Disney family. He's going to be an Ironheart.
And they need a good smuggler.
I would say over 8. I'm not going to say 50. I'm not going to say it's likely, but I would take over 8%. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it takes place 5 years before Star Wars, so why not? I mean, you know what? I'll go over 8% on that. How much fun would that be?
think
I
it
would
be-
love to
yeah.
do an arc where they need the services of a smuggler. That makes sense.
What's next?
Chad Burney says, "What if Henry Cavill is in Black Adam, but as Bizarro Superman?
No.
He would be a great antagonist and could lose to Black Adam in a Black Adam movie without hurting the feelings of Superman's fans."
Number 1, why would Henry Cavill do that?
Bring on the filthy.
Number 2, I don't see how that would really make any sense. A lot of the audience would be going, "That's what, Superman?"
Right.
No, 0 chance. 0. I don't know. What do you think?
I think
it's absolutely
zero chance as well. They're not going to bring Henry Cavill back and have him play Bizarro Superman.
And what's the narrative?
Bizarro.
What's the story there?
Yeah.
Dude.
I just, I don't see it happening. I mean, I'd love to see Henry Cavill in anything, but
Bizarro.
I just don't see that happening.
No.
All right, what's next?
There's a character I don't see
Morgan Holmes
coming
sends in a
to the
$20
movies.
Oh,
super
thank
chat.
you, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Extremely generous, man.
Love this show.
Bizarro.
Anything I can do to support, I absolutely will. Clock is ticking. This Sunday, fire will rain, and all will bend the knee.
I am getting more and more excited for this.
Dude,
I am too.
I really am. Look, the Ring of Power is still my number 1 most anticipated. Has been for like,
I want to watch that shit
But
this summer. I want to watch the
yeah, when
fuck
the first
out of
images
that.
for it came out, I'm like, okay. But that Comic-Con trailer they dropped, like we were all here together and we watched it all together. And we were like, that's
House
that
of the
trailer
Dragon
was incredible.
looks
Yep.
pretty
And I all of a
good.
sudden
I mean, it's Game of
realized
Thrones, so
I miss
it's
Game
gonna
of
be
Thrones
tough to
a
pass
lot.
that one.
And I didn't even
Me too.
realize it until I saw that. And it's like
I just wonder what
it's
the
kinda like
opening song is
you
gonna be. Is
forget
it gonna be
something
dun
was your
dun
favorite
dun
dish, and
dun
you're walking
dun
down
dun dun
past
dun
something and you
dun
catch the
dun
smell
dun
of something, you
dun
I forgot
dun
that is my favorite thing in the
dun
world. You know?
dun.
yeah, dude. And the thing is, as much as
As
I
soon
might
as you
not
hear
have
that
liked the final
stupid
season or
theme,
whatever, it's still
That's all
one of the
that's gonna
greatest
go through
TV
your
shows
mind is
ever
like,
made.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love
And
this
I
show.
love watching it. I love going back through the whole season. Elizabeth and I watch the whole thing again. I can't wait for this.
All right, what's next?
Cutter Hale says, "Big weekend for me at the movies. Beast
That's all
tonight,
you need to do is
Bullet
play
Train a
that
third
music.
time
Nice.
tomorrow, and UFC 278 Saturday night. I'm excited."
Is it 278? I thought it was
Usman,
279.
yeah.
No, you're right. It is 278. Usman. I think pound for pound. Now that Khabib Nurmagomedov is retired, Usman is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world now. He's got his hands full. Saturday night, so
my
yeah, big weekend.
goodness.
I'm going to go see Beast tonight. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's
I love
Thursday.
Idris
That's
Elba.
right. I might
That's
do
right.
that too.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
I'm very excited about it. All right, what's next?
Peter Cunnington says Ben Kingsley's new movie with Ezra Miller. That's what I was thinking about yesterday. Will be at the Toronto Film Festival, but Ezra will not be, and he won't even be credited.
Yep, I heard it. I saw that news. They're showing that film, and they took his name off of the credits.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What? They took his
only
name off
way
the
that can happen
credits?
is
But
if
he's
Ezra
in
Miller
it.
agrees to
You
that.
can't take his
Because
name
that's a
off the
contractual thing.
credits.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it
You
is
can't do
actually
that.
in. So it's even in the contracts these days about where somebody's name appears in a poster.
Yeah, I bet they
So
couldn't
they
take
would
it
have
off
to
the
have
film.
Agreed to that.
I bet they didn't take it off the film itself, but any any
posters.
Yeah,
material.
no,
Promotional
the
thing,
guy's-
But
if
even
he's in the
then,
movie,
I
he's
think
in
it's
the
something
movie.
Ezra
It is.
He has to be
would
in
have
the
to have
credits.
agreed to.
Yep.
So I'm not surprised, but again, just to be aware, it is
Okay, I
something
guess
Ezra
we
would have probably had to
do
have agreed to.
something different.
And you know,
now.
why wouldn't he have agreed to it at this point? He understands, like Ezra Miller understands that nobody has done anything to their career except them. They're the ones who wrecked
What am I
their
looking
career.
for
They're
here?
the
Ah,
ones
yeah,
who
this
put
one.
these studios' projects in danger. And so,
We
yeah,
need
if they're
to do
confronted
some. I've done
with,
all
would
my
you be
Frontier
okay?
Clash.
We're trying to promote this film that we
We need to
spent
do Void
millions of
Rifts.
dollars on. Would you be okay if we took your name off it? At
I
least
guess
off
these
the
are
poster or
weeklies?
whatever.
They'll reset every
It
week,
would
I'm
be
guessing?
more than reasonable to Ezra go, yeah, I get it.
And I'll bet when you have Gandhi coming to ask you that,
Yes.
they would have to say
All right, let's
yes.
do
Yeah,
Void
you
Rifts,
send
I guess.
you send him to
This
do
is
the
just
request. You cannot
mattresses.
deny it.
You
at
cannot
that point.
deny
Do
When
mattresses
Sir
increase
Ben
your
comes
CS?
asking you,
Yes.
What he
like
has to do in his
better
Trevor
fucking gear.
accent.
I love that. Was a great surprise for me to see him. Pop
Or
up.
or if he goes in his sexy beast persona.
Oh no,
Oh, that would be
Man,
that would intimidate the hell
Join
out of me.
Whoa.
Like,
Operation.
okay,
Well,
I'm in the movie.
all right. What's
Whatever
next?
you need. Jamal Sanderson says, being that we're in the multiverse saga, do you think no one has mentioned the Celestials because it's not in the 616?
No. Okay, if they did, that would really make me hate this multiverse bullshit even more.
Me too.
I listen. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of multiverse bullshit. I mean, it can give you a few cool kind of little things, like we got to see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, but overall, it just makes for messy, consequence-less storytelling, and I cannot wait for it to be over.
Yeah.
I really can't wait for it to be over. But that's just me. All right, what's next?
Vixter 5001 says, I blame you, Rob. A pre-order in for InArt Gandalf. Don't blame me.
What's InArt?
InArt
Oh,
is
the
the company
expensive
that makes those $1,000 6-scale figures.
Oh.
So they did Heath Ledger's Joker is the first one.
$1,000
Gandalf is the second one, and then they just dropped
for
their
only a
Pattinson
6-scale
figure.
That
which
seems like a
is
scale.
Oh, that's right, you were
small
showing me
for
that.
Yeah,
$1,000
yeah.
bucks.
And it comes as a 2-pack.
2-pack, yeah,
One in the Bruce Persona, one in
Yeah.
Batman. That one looked really
$1,000
good.
bucks.
Sorry.
$1,000.
Is it? No. Here we go. That's it.
There it is.
Oh my
Dude.
God!
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's him. That's
That's why
that's
they
what it
cost as
looks
much as they
like.
cost.
no, that's him. Dude.
No, it's not. That is,
That actually
beautiful.
looks
That is the
like
InArt
fucking
Gandalf.
real deal.
and
my
that's and it's only
Holy shit.
$500.
That's a figure.
Only $500.
That looks like a photograph.
That one's only $500.
Yeah,
I want
I
it.
would think
Of
that's
Dude,
like the real
how
actor.
great is that?
I want that up here right beside Deadpool.
Oh my
Come
God,
on.
the hair
But it's a
looks
1/6
so real. Is
scale.
that
It's
real
1/6.
hair?
It's a little pricey for 1/6.
Yeah, a little
Do
pricey
it.
price.
Do it.
It's
Like
beautiful.
Do it
but
now.
yeah,
1/4
1/6
scale
is kinda
Deadpool.
small.
Roughly cost me less than that. Actually, it cost me a little less
Yeah.
than that for this.
But it
full
doesn't move.
1/4 scale.
Gandalf's fully posable. Comes with accessories.
is
One more. I'm
gorgeous.
going to tempt you again.
Look! Oh my! Look
Oh
at that
my
face sculpt.
God.
Hey, if the company's
That
watching, you
looks
know,
so
we could
What the
good.
hell?
a little bit.
Holy shit.
Oh, I
Send us
mean,
some samples, please.
no, they are it's Queen's. It's a division of Queen Studios.
Oh, they're great.
And
they're
yeah,
expensive.
They're very expensive. They're busts, like they do full size busts of characters.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
so-
amazing.
Go to Sideshow.
Cal calls in live chat saying there's no way John is
Only
not
had,
ordering this.
you know,
I got
disposable income.
$500
If only.
man.
Come
But
on,
you know
dude, you
what?
won't even miss it.
If you're going to order it, you have to order it
How
now.
much
'cause
money do you think I have?
Well, no, but I mean,
$500.
No. But I mean, there'll be so much joy you'll get from it. You won't even think about how much it costs because you'll look at it every day and be like, Damn.
You know what
that's
I'll
cool.
do? I'll just make it the wallpaper on my phone. How about that? And I can look at it every day.
That's simple, man.
But you can't smell the plastic when you open the box.
All right, we got to keep going.
true.
What's next?
Can't smell the plastic.
Afreem says, John, the Hawkeye post-game open spoiler discussion show is canceled. Still my favorite first review of an MCU show. Glad She-Hulk is a better start.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
I was man.
You didn't do the Hawkeye thing anymore?
I think I probably bailed on it. I didn't like Hawkeye. It had a couple of episodes. There were a couple of episodes that were pretty banger. And it's hard because I love Jeremy Renner and I really like that character. I never thought the character should be the lead in their own movie or series. I love them most as a supporting character. Like the role Hawkeye plays in Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
Is so impactful.
And the opening scene is incredible.
It's like one of the best moments of the movie. A movie where they're fighting for the fate of the universe, but a simple scene of two people in the middle of a rainy street with one of the people being in a lot of pain. And that was one of the highlights. I mean, I love the character. I love what they bring. It's just, man, I didn't like that show. All right.
They gave us more Yelena, though.
It did give us more of Yelena.
And Tracksuit Mafia.
Swing!
And for Jackson, bro.
Al Renshaw says, imagine someone saying,
Is this
I'm the mayor of
PvP?
the town of Dildo and visit Regina frequently. He's also subscribed to Cockmax.
Again, I'm not going to lie to you. I listen, Saskatchewan is an awesome, awesome province. I loved every bit of my time living there. Yeah, they got some pretty funky names, man. Pretty funky names up there. That's true. All right, what's next?
This one's a tough one for me. Aspor Loki Runarsson sends in a super chat. First line of Deadpool 3. I just felt a disturbance in the force, as if Disney just spared me from scrapping of the Fox-Men universe. Calling it
The Foxmen. I like
the
that.
Fox-Men.
The Foxmen. I like it. Yeah, look. You know, I am counting on Deadpool 3 to be savage of the MCU, of the merger,
There's so much reading.
of all of it. I want them to be.
How much
I
is there?
They're absolutely savage because
Oh my
what's that?
God.
Do you think they're gonna throw in Korg at least in
really
one
expect me to
small
read
scene,
all
no
that?
matter how, even if there's no explanation why Korg is there?
Not necessarily. I mean, they did that great in the commercial,
Yeah.
but I mean, that would be like first of all, there's a full CGI thing. That would be an expensive little thing just to drop in there. So I'm gonna guess no, but I want them to go full blown savage.
I think they will.
I hope they do. All right, what's next?
Sin Vendetta says, this is why I buy my movies and TV shows through the Microsoft Xbox Movies and TV app, because I know that all my content will be all in one place and not just disappear on me.
Again, that
Yet.
in the world of digital, there's two separate.
Oh,
things
so this
now.
isn't
There's
available
the,
right
quote-unquote
now.
free if you're a member of a streaming service. There's the quote unquote free just streaming there. It's there as a part of a library for you to get it. But again, that comes and goes with
My
licensing.
favorite.
Then there is the Google Play Store, iTunes, the Xbox Store, all that kind of stuff where you make a purchase. Now you can say, John,
what can
3
I
months
do
ago
right
we did a
now to
story
get
about how
better
in Germany
gear?
and Austria, these 3 movies disappeared. Like, look, once in a million years, something like that's going to happen. All I know is this.
That's a good voice.
Every movie I have ever bought over the year, and I've been buying movies digitally for a decade, not one
But I
is
can't
moved.
do this.
Now, what is it? I have lost 1,000 times more physical media discs than I've ever lost of any of the ones I've bought digitally. They're all there, and we can talk about Chicken Little. The oh no, it's coming. This apocalypse is coming. Yeah, guess people have been telling me that for 10 years. Every one of my movies is still right there that I can open up right now on my phone if I wanted to.
I know where to get that access, John.
I would love if they're gone.
That's the only thing I don't got access to. Your Google Play.
That's right. That's the only thing
library.
Ray gets
Let me
access
see
to all
those
my other
movies.
stuff. Just the only thing I got saved is my actual digital Play Store purchase.
I'll get it one day.
All right, what's next?
What is next? Mr. Holdbrook says, John, I figured out your new name for your show.
Oh, I think Jason.
Oh, that's yes. Could you go scooch down a little
yeah.
bit? Jason DeMassey, sorry. Jason DeMassey says, love the wink to Oscar Isaac eating Cheetos with chopsticks.
Again, we can't discuss it. We can't even say that's just what that's from. Okay, what's next?
Mr. Holbrook says, John, I figured out your new name for your show. You've been hinting at it the whole time. The Pickle My Foot Hour.
The gig's up.
How come they can't
figured
talk
it
about
out.
that?
Welcome to the Pickle My Foot Network,
Starring me.
starring Rob, the author, creator, the granddaddy.
Oh, but
Tickle my foot.
that's a hefty licensing fee you paid me, so I appreciate that.
What am I supposed
It's
to
big money,
do
man. Big
to get
money. How
better
else are you going to buy that
gear?
Batman?
Afford
Afford that Gandalf. Why do you think I can't afford that Gandalf now? All right, what's next?
Free birthday for Christmas. Captain Mexico 21 says, BB plus TS equals Bruce
Okay.
Banner and
Yeah,
Taylor
but
Swift.
unfortunately, that we
Guys,
can't
no.
discuss it. All right, what's
No
next?
spoilers.
I don't even know. Retribution Zero says, on open mic, Steve Summers was brought up. Do you think he'll come back as a director, or is he done? Deep Rising is a personal favorite. Keep it filthy. I love Deep Rising, and I have it on physical media, just so you know.
Steve Summers is a director I like. Again, though, the problem was he did something that directors should not do, which is, you know, he took it personally and decided to go after critics who didn't like his movie. And, like, I'm sorry, dude, like, and the people who watched your movie didn't like it, and then you going out on some kind of tirade, making up excuses and making up make-believe stuff. Well, they only just didn't like it because of this. It's like, no, shut up. Just shut up. So, look, I would say this. I really do hope we get to see more. I think he's got a very, very creative mind. I would like to see more from him. So, I mean, honestly, for all I know, he's got 5 things in development. I just don't know at this point. But I would like to see more from them.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Deep Rising 2. Tim Platt says, it's game day for
Game day?
Dragon Ball Superhero.
I take back my game day. I recant my game day.
Seeing it tomorrow in IMAX. You're going to see a Dragon Ball movie in IMAX? Every time I see a Dragon Ball movie in theaters, it's always a great atmosphere. You pumped, Ray?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I was just reading the chat. Yeah, I want to see this movie. I'm not sure when I can, but
Dragon Ball Z?
You'll never see power
superhero?
levels like these.
Yeah, I'm sure that level's going to be. We've never seen power levels like this. That line is going to be in the movie. Yeah, I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan, but you know what? Like, I can imagine for people who are, and I've got a lot of friends who are big Dragon Ball fans. That
Dragon Ball's
when
great.
a movie like that comes out, like even though I'm not a Dragon Ball fan, I got to imagine the atmosphere at a theater or something like that would probably be
you are a
pretty
fan,
damn
John,
fun.
because you're coming over to my place, barbecuing, and we're watching Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't then record my reaction to it. I don't know. Maybe I should. But you know what? Even though Dragon Ball's not for me, I love that it's got a fan community like that would get so excited.
And you're
for stuff
correct
like
about
that.
the atmosphere. I haven't seen one trailer to this movie, but I just can't wait to see the crowd in the theater watching.
I think it's probably going to be bonkers. It's probably going to be bonkers. Good for them. All right, what's next?
Carlos Sosa says, hey guys, I pre-ordered my Green Goblin No Way Home hot toy.
I'm sure
as
that's
well.
going to look awesome.
It's
Is
pretty.
that diecast, Rob?
No, no. I mean, no. It's
But I'm
not-
sure it's going to look
But
awesome.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Looks like that.
Yeah, look at that.
that's great.
There you go. Come on.
What's next?
That was pretty fast on the draw there.
I know.
That was pretty great. Ulaton says, John, what's the sound setup in the theater room?
It's actually, we just positioned the speakers yesterday for the first time, and we watched a little bit of the test the sound. I put on the bus fight scene in Shang-Chi. And so then we watched She-Hulk with it. We use a JBL, what is it, a 5.1?
Yeah. It's Atmos, right? It's the Atmos.
I can't remember if it's got the Atmos certification on it or not, but I think it's the JBL 5.1. We got the speakers up on the windows, and it was so great. It was so great. That subwoofer like bangs like, and I'm not a huge audiophile. Just, you know, I'm not. So when I say I've never had a subwoofer that sounded that good, that's not necessarily saying much because I'm not a huge audiophile, but that subwoofer was thumping as the car drove by, you hearing you go
22%'s a big
literally around the
upgrade.
room. It was pretty good. A big shout out to Connie. Big
Connie
shout out
Thang.
to Connie for that
Connie.
JBL system because that
Big
I
surprises
really
from
liked it.
Connie.
And she must only have your address because I don't have any speakers.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, no, I
Oh,
can't.
no. Yeah,
She's not a JBL anymore,
Yeah,
though.
gave you
Oh,
the
yeah, you're right.
headsets. Yeah.
You're right.
All right, what's next?
Trevor sends in a $20 super chat. Thank you, Trevor. I
Thank you,
appreciate that.
Trevor.
Thank you for always delivering great content. I don't have too many people I can geek out about movies or shows, so watching your show always brings so much joy.
You know, Trevor, I can totally relate because I'm a big tech geek. I'm a big tech geek, and not a lot of my friends are, to be honest with you. And so I have a lot of my favorite YouTube channels that I'm so grateful that I love to just go to their tech channels and geek out over the latest. I call me whatever. I want to get all this stuff on the latest USB microphones. I want to hear all about the brand new USB interfaces. I want to find out all that, and I find that those channels are there and I get to geek out with them and I have a good time. And I'm glad that this show can be that for you or anybody else that you know, just loves to geek out and talk about these things that we love the most, the movies and TV shows. And if we can be here for you for that, that is awesome. We're appreciative that you're here joining us for it as well. All right. What's next?
I guess I'll do
The People's Champ 2007 says, is Ezra's apology plus seeking mental help enough for the movie to be finally released?
I don't know what to do to get my CS out.
Just making sure you're you. Two-step verification style. Two-step verification adds an extra step when you sign in to make sure you're you. So even if a hacker steals your password, they still can't get into your Google account.
It was going to be released whether they apologized or not. We've been talking about that for a long time. That movie was coming out. Like, barring Ezra Miller straight up murdering somebody or a ton of more stuff happening later, like something that escalated beyond the things that have already happened. This movie was coming out regardless. So they've got their summer of next year thing. I think they should move up the release date. I personally think they should just drop it before the end of the year, to be honest with you, just to make sure more shenanigans don't happen with Ezra Miller, to be honest with you. But this movie's coming out almost hell or high water. So
they're going to announce it releases at the back end of the 10-year plan.
Coming.
We want to do it just
2031. The Flash. Got a lot of work to do on that CGI. All right, what's next?
Owen Lanning says, need a Harley Quinn after show.
It's difficult doing an after show for just an animated comedy because it's just basically that joke was funny.
Yeah.
And that joke was funny. Believe me, I could talk Harley Quinn all the time, but it's a difficult concept to do a after show for. All right, what's next?
Al Renshaw says, on a recent episode of Hollywood Babylon, on the Hollywood Babylon podcast, Kevin Smith talked about his bizarro Jimmy Olsen pitch, and it sounded great. I would love to see it.
Here's the thing about pitches. Pitches almost always sound great. They really do. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be. You know how big of a fan I am of Kevin Smith. I love Kevin Smith. Like his movie Clerks 2 was a very important, I know it sounds weird to say about a Clerks movie, but it was a very, very important movie at a very, very important time in my life. And I will always be indebted to Kevin Smith for that film. And whether you're talking about great films like Chasing Amy and stuff like that, he's incredible. I love him. But he's also the best talker in Hollywood. Like, I could sit and watch some of my favorite specials, just the what are they called? Evening with Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
They're some of the best things to watch. Kevin Smith just standing on stage with a microphone telling stories.
Yep, we saw him live.
Great.
I saw him live.
He's amazing. I can watch that shit for hours. So anything that Kevin Smith pitches is gonna sound great. Whether or not it would be great, a little bit more questionable. But Kevin Smith's just such a great communicator that he could pitch anything and I'll probably eat it up. So, all right, whatever. What's next?
Mark Netau says, speaking about Saskatchewan, John, did you ever see Corner Gas?
Yes. Although it was long after the fact. And it wasn't much and then I was gone. But
what are you talking about? What is this? What's Corner Gas?
It's a Canadian comedy show,
Is
kind of like in the vein of Schitt's Creek or Kim's Convenience, Corner Gas, and it takes place in Saskatchewan, which was a big thing. But I didn't see all of it, unfortunately. It didn't make the impression on me that a Schitt's Creek or a Kim's Convenience did, but it was a really loved show by a lot of people. All right, what's next?
Station says, hello, John and crew. Been watching since AMC Movie Talk, and I watch almost every day while at work. Thoughts on Henry Cavill as Hyperion?
It's a BS rumor.
Increases damage to normal text and shadow with 30%.
Plus, they're going to the Squadron Supreme?
But listen, it's the thing of Henry Cavill is one of my favorite actors. He is a great performer. You put him in anything.
Yeah.
X actor and X role. I mean, he's a great actor, so you make him almost anything, and I'm going to be super happy. But I don't believe this Hyperion rumor first.
Because then you'd have to have the whole team be a problem.
I mean, no, you don't.
I feel like
you're right. You're right.
But I mean, I don't believe that rumor for a second. But I mean, hey, if it happened, great. But I don't believe it for a second. All right, what's next?
Groovy Movies says, what were some of the show names that didn't make the final two, John?
Everyone you ever heard. I mean, we read off hundreds of them during the show. I mean, everyone that you've ever heard did not make it onto the list.
That's pretty. That should be 60% bonus
the
share
name
is
of
a
this
big
show,
difference.
It's like I say, talk about the title of movies. It's almost irrelevant. All it is a marketing thing. We just need a name so people know what our show is. That's it. We just need a title. The title we come up with, no one's gonna go, oh my God, this changes everything. Nah, it's really not a big deal. It's just that instead of being known as The John Campbell Show, it'll be known as blah, 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 blah.
Watch of Tomorrow.
The Watch of Tomorrow. Just blah, blah,
Watch,
blah,
die,
blah.
repeat.
As long as people know
Watch,
that
die, repeat.
blah, 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 blah is what this show is. That's all that matters. So, like, I'm just going to temper your expectations. When we announce the new name of the network and the show, it ain't going to blow anybody's socks off. It's just a name. It doesn't change anything. Everything else about the show is going to be exactly the same. Everything else about the network is going to be exactly the same. It's just going to be a title. It's not going to impress anybody. It's not going to blow anybody's socks off. But I do like the two titles we've come down to, so we'll see what happens. All right, what's next?
Dildar says, She-Hulk made me feel things I never thought I'd feel before Bring on the Filthy Indeed. Oh, that's one thing. There's no period there. Let me do that again. She-Hulk
Punctuation.
made me feel things I never thought I'd feel before. Bring on the Filthy Indeed.
What the?
I think he's just attracted to a tall green woman.
I guess there wasn't anything particularly sexy about the episode.
When she does that yoga move that's in the trailers, you know?
Oh, that's fun. That was a funny scene, though, by the way.
It was, but I could see why that would, you know.
All right, what's next?
There's no uncanny valley for Rob.
There's no uncanny valley.
No. That I won't yodel in. Cutter Hale says, Rob, like you, I'm a physical media collector, and I just pre-ordered the 4K steelbooks of Top Gun Maverick, Nope, and Bullet Train. I ordered one of those steelbooks. Guess which one?
Top Gun.
Yes.
We're at 82.5.
Those are all three good movies. I didn't love Nope. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Bullet Train, again, didn't love, but it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun. And Top Gun Maverick is terrific. Can't wait to watch that.
I have to have it go with my steelbook of Top Gun. Huh? I couldn't have one that wasn't a steelbook.
All right, what's next?
Stephen J. says, I always thought a great show name would be The Bingle and Banter.
The Binge and Banter.
The Binge.
Oh, the Binge. Oh, why did I say Bingle?
You saw an L there, sorry. Phantom
Yes.
L.
Bingle all the way.
I like bingle. I don't even know what that word means. The Binge and Banter. I like that. The Binge and Banter. I guess it's too late to suggest it now.
Hey, listen, if I was opening an Irish pub,
That's what like Louis
The Bingle and Banter. I like
the
that.
Binge and Banter. Yes, I would name it after that.
Maybe Bingle's an Irish name.
Maybe.
Never heard the word before, ever. I guess it's
All right,
not
what's
real.
next?
Jack Master Norrid says, hey, John, what are the chances of you doing a screening of Rob's Star Wars movie in your theater?
Very low.
I don't know, man. You might get some fun times with that.
Very low. No, I don't. Yeah.
You know, there is a version with no sex in it.
It's
No,
it's 40 seconds.
For
Is
real.
it called The Munsters?
That's
Captain
good.
Herman.
All right.
Mr. Herman.
What's next?
Dr.
Paging
Stinky
Mr. Herman.
says, Dr. Stinky says, hey, I just watched Prey, and it was awesome. Now my second favorite movie of the year.
I wanna watch
First
that.
Doctor Strange, all love, Bring on the Filthy.
Listen, this movie Prey is way better than it has any business being.
Yep,
Like,
it's way cool.
I had decent hopes when I finally walked in because I had heard some early buzz and I heard it was quite good. So I'm like, all right. But like for the longest time, I'm like, why'd they even make this movie? But I'll tell you what, Ann and I went in and watched that, and we were lucky enough that we actually got to see it at a press screening in a movie theater.
Yeah,
which was so great. And I just walked out. I was like, what the hell? How did they do that? Like it was a really. It's not. Well, you know what? No, it might be in my top 5 of the year right now.
Wow.
I don't know. Not in my top 3, but that movie is way better than it had any business being.
I was hoping they had like shot, like, you know how they usually shoot things in like IMAX or something like that, but that I was hoping they did like some shots where there'd be a reason to actually put it in the theater, because I would watch it again.
Well,
and I want to watch it in the theater.
in a way that
beautifully
I
done.
saw it in a theater.
Oh.
That movie looks great in a theater.
Yeah.
Looked fantastic.
I wish I'd seen it at theater.
It's just way better. Again, when Jesse the Body Ventura comes out and starts gushing about the movie online, like
There's chests in here.
And it was just really.
It's
really
just
great.
so back.
Connie Sang.
Connie!
Hello, Connie, birthday girl. Infinity Train is a pretty good animation series, and animation is not a medium I regularly watch. They were originally on Cartoon Network before it moved to HBO Max. Sucks to hear they're pulling it.
Yeah, so for those of you who might be joining a little bit late, so we read down the list of the stuff that HBO was moving from the service, and I had said I hadn't heard of any of these, and I mentioned Infinity Train. So now we got a little bit about it. Is that the one you said?
Yeah. I said I was interested in watching it. What's sad is it took this story for me to read about this show, which is kind of sucks. Like, oh yeah, I found out too late. So I don't know, but I will watch it before it leaves HBO Max. I'll be on your HBO Max today, John. So just wanted to.
All right, what's next?
Nikita Monahan Nikita Mohanan says, have y'all seen the trailer for Call Jane? Thoughts? I loved it. Didn't hear anything about it. Overturning Roe v. Wade. Some are calling it woke. Call Jane, I've not seen it.
Not heard of it.
Is that, you know what? I did see that trailer. And
You have it on board?
I don't
Yeah, the trailer
I don't have to. I
unfortunately.
watched that the other day, and I kind of was half watching it, and that's what it had a board.
I have the
so,
damage.
Wait, yeah. Looks good. I'll watch that.
All right, what's next?
It's got a great cast. Mega Movie Z says, it's so dumb that Zaslav erased Mac's original content. Doesn't this just promote piracy because the only legal way to watch it now is gone?
I love it when people who have no business success call people with all the business success stupid. Look,
That was from Bob Iger.
it's stuff.
Super chat.
It's stuff nobody was watching,
And it was costing them money.
and it was costing them money. So you're literally in a place. First of all, there is no audience to pirate it. But even if there was, HBO would do better financially if people were pirating it than having it on their service. It's business. It was literally losing them money to have that sit on their server and have nobody watch it.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like saying I provide a service. Let's say I clean pools, and I've got a customer that doesn't pay me, and so I stopped working for them. But won't someone else take that customer who doesn't pay them? Maybe.
but it's not actually costing me anything to lose that customer. I mean, that's pretty much it. All right, what's next?
Tracy Dale says, I liked She-Hulk, but wish they'd drop 2 episodes.
Again, fully agree. I think it would have been really. Not every show has to do that. I think this is, especially with the fact that they have 9 instead of 6 episodes.
Yeah.
They have that flexibility. Doesn't ruin anything, but I agree. It would have been a smarter move for them to drop it. Give us a better idea about the show. All right, what's next?
Carlos Mondragon says, please do a Put It Up, Jonathan t-shirt.
That's becoming a phrase I need to say. Hey, bring it up, Jonathan. I mean, that's
I'd wear that.
You know what? I wasn't joking. I said on the show the other day that if I can ever afford it, I would love to have
I got him.
Yes. On the company. That's just of an artist. Yep. I would love to have an artist. That's just like every day their job is to not just create graphics that Ray can take and use and manipulate into his graphic design, but an artist to like. It feels
only
like every
the
day
first part.
something is brought on the show that will
my
make a great T-shirt or a great coffee mug or a great mouse pad, and like somebody just almost like when Chris said, "What is it, Buckety McGillicuddy or whatever the name of that character is?" It's like that's got to be a T-shirt. Like I feel like every day on the show there's something that's like that's got to be a T-shirt. Like to have an artist on staff who is just their job to create art that again both Ray uses, but also we just get to make into merch. I would love that.
Oh, here
If
go.
we ever
It's
can
the
get to
start
the
of
part
my-
that I can afford that,
Oh, that was the
I
end.
would love to
Okay.
add that
Thank
stuff.
goodness.
The start of my unemployment here.
Where's
He's
the
dropping
other
hints now.
chest?
You're a graphic designer. I'm talking about an illustrator.
know.
Two different things. Two different things.
What does Christian know that I
They would
don't?
actually be working. They would actually be working for you, Ray, because you'd be the head of that department.
Oh, okay.
So you'd be the boss. All right, what's next?
What did you
GC
say about it? They
have
need an
that
illustrator?
flexibility Doesn't ruin anything, but I agree. It would have been a smarter move for them to drop it to give us a better idea about the show. All right, what's next?
Carlos Mondragon says, please do a Put It Up, Jonathan t-shirt.
That's becoming a phrase I need to say a lot. Hey, bring it up, Jonathan. I mean,
I'd wear that.
You know what? I wasn't joking. I said on the show the other day that if I can ever afford it, I would love to add another staff position on the company. That's just of an artist. Yep. I would love to have an artist. That's just like every day their job is to not just create graphics that Ray can take and use and manipulate into his graphic design, but an artist to like, it feels like every day something is brought up on the show that would make a great t-shirt or a great coffee mug or a great mouse pad. And like somebody just on the show, like when Chris said, what is it? Buckety McGillicuddy or whatever the name of that character is. It's like, that's got to be a t-shirt. Like, I feel like every day on the show, there's something that's like, that's got to be a t-shirt. Like to have an artist on staff who is just their job to create art that, again, both Ray uses, but also we just get to make into merch. I would love that.
Oh, here
if
we go.
we ever can get to the part that I can afford that, I would love to add that staff position.
The start of my unemployment here. He's dropping hints now.
No. You're a graphic designer. I'm talking about an illustrator.
I know.
Two different things.
What does Christian know that I
They would actually be working. They would actually be working for you, Ray, because you'd be the head of that department.
Oh, okay.
So you'd be the boss. All right, what's next?
GC Nightwalker says 6 episodes mean an average of 45 minutes with credits. 9 means 35. John, I've done the math, and Daredevil will be 10 minutes and 74 seconds long with credits.
Yeah, I have like a lot of when they
Gotta pause this. I'll be right back. I gotta go pee. get anything out of that. That was good. My records with this are not so good. Let's see, I've got 1, 2. I've had 2 SRs. That's it. Oh wait, that was just in that page? Oh wait, let me keep looking then. So it's 3 SRs. Still not very good though. 4, 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 12. I just keep getting Hilda, like, over and over again. What do I
They
do?
announced, and we got all excited, that the Daredevil series would be an 18-episode series. A lot of people's like, okay, that's great, but what if it's like 22 minutes an episode? And that's a very, very good. I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't either.
And that's the other thing about Disney Plus shows. It's like you load it up, say, oh, this one's 48 minutes. Okay. It's 8 minutes of credits. So that wasn't 48 minutes. But I don't think they're going to do that with Daredevil. I think legitimately the episodes will be like 45 minutes or longer, not including credits. I mean, I don't know that, but I'm that's what I'm choosing to believe.
I think it's a good bet.
All right, what's next?
Darth Grant says, all I will say is I dislike how WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, as well as Disney, after that Avatar story, are treating consumers.
Again, well, first of all, what's Warner Brothers Discovery doing?
Well, removing all
content
those.
that nobody watched. Yeah. That's the thing. The people who are going to complain most about are people who've never watched a single
Except
one of
Connie.
those things.
Connie's upset.
Except Connie.
Infinity Train, man.
That's the other thing, too. It's like, if that's going to just hurt your company, if that's going to hurt your business, then that hurts your ability to create new content.
And can I clarify that many of these shows were still currently running, like doing new seasons? Is that where a lot of money was going?
It might be. I don't know. I don't know if it was just. I don't know if it was just catalog content, whatever. But see, the other thing is too. Now, there is an opportunity for those shows to get a new life on another streamer if WB can license them out. Maybe to a streaming service that more has a demographic that would be more inclined to watch them than them just sitting on WB where nobody was watching them. So, yeah. All right, what's next?
The People's Champ 2007 says, who are the supervillains that She-Hulk fought? Not a spoiler because it shows up in the trailer.
Oh, Tatiana. Wait a second. No, it's Titania or is it?
Titania.
Yeah, that's. But you see her.
So, Jamila's character. I don't know much about the character. I mean, I'm aware of her. I know the character, but I don't really know much about the character. I never read any issues with her.
Secret Wars.
Yes.
And then obviously Abomination's coming.
Abomination's coming.
But I have a feeling Abomination might be a redemption arc. Just because of what happened in Shang-Chi.
Well, and the things we saw in the trailer, I mean, they're in Shang-Chi, he's like working with Wong. It's a grift.
Yeah.
They're grifting. They're,
Wong literally gets him out of prison to come and do these fights.
Yeah, so they can win money.
Yeah. He's got some kind of grift going on.
I mean, maybe Wong gets busted for fixing fights.
What if the Sorcerer Supreme doesn't make as much cheddar as you think, right?
Well, yeah,
I gotta do these fights on this
We
stuff.
saw in, what was it, Infinity War, we didn't have any money. You know, he's walking on the... You know, can you go to the deli? Here's some money.
What's next?
Andy says, if John does commentary on She-Hulk legal cases, that would make him our very own Legal Eagle. Love that dude a lot.
I started watching Legal Eagle a bit. He makes great content. So Legal Eagle is this, he's a lawyer who literally takes a lot of big issues that are going on and breaks it down for common laymen about this is what this means legally. I think it was Legal Eagle that I found out from, Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, he would have received a death penalty for like 5 different things that Maverick does in this movie. Like court-martial, death penalty. And it was actually pretty fun. But his is a great YouTube channel. I like his a lot. All right, what's next?
Wesley Nakona says, can y'all wish my best friend Joaquin a happy birthday? Also, have any of you played the new Warner Brothers game, Multiverses?
No,
yes, I have.
I have heard about this game. First of all, Joaquin, happy birthday to you, buddy.
Birthday.
Did you play it? What was
it?
Which characters did you play?
I only play the Iron Giant. The guy, the weight on him, but the things that he could do, you can juggle the guys in the air and multi-hit.
No, explain what Multiverses is, because I read this.
If you guys ever played like a Super Smash Brothers, or just think of like even a Mario Party where there's a lot of people competing against each other, except you're just fighting on the stage, throwing people off the stage. It's one of those games. I'm never good at them, but I do try to play. I'm trying to play Iron Giant. I'm enjoying it.
It just went live like this week or something.
Yeah, and it's free.
Didn't it break like a whole bunch of records too? Like for I heard that like the pre-sign up for the game like broke a whole bunch of records. I haven't played it yet myself.
Well, good for them.
All right, what's next?
In that game.
Fernandum383 says, do you think we'll get World War Hulk in Phase 5?
No.
What the hell am I supposed to do here?
I mean, the Universal issue is still not settled, all that kind of stuff. So that simply can't happen until that gets done, unfortunately. All right, what's next?
Safwat Newman says, after the end credits started rolling, I really liked the show. After the end credits scene, I really believe this show is going to be awesome.
Okay, by the way, the end credit, Miss Marvel kind of started doing this very stylized end credits kind of stuff. I love the way they did the credits in
kind of like No Way Home too.
Yeah,
No Way Home
I love the way they did.
They were great.
I see.
But the post-credit scene is really fun.
Oh my god!
The way it ends is like, it's like, yeah, that's.
I laughed. So Elizabeth laughed out loud too.
Yeah, so did we. All right, what's next?
Suhab Kasim says, I just rewatched Mission Impossible 3 and forgot how raw and tense it is. Kind of makes the newer ones, MI4 through 6, look more sanitized and spectacle-driven in comparison.
What do you think?
I think I missed one of the super chats because there was 2.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, I think there was 2. Yeah, there's one. But I'll tell you what I think. I tend to look Mission Impossible 3 to me.
Princess Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Men would sooner put the realm to the torch.
It always felt like a TV movie.
Was that the J.J. Abrams one?
Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff in it, but it is pretty raw because people are threatened. I would agree with that, but I don't love that movie.
Tell you what, it's the first one I really liked.
Yeah.
Because I didn't mind the first Mission Impossible. I did not like the second. And so when they came out with Mission Impossible 3, it was the first one that I was like, yeah, I dug it. It's not my top 2 or 3 Mission Impossible movies now because obviously that was a franchise. This is a franchise that just seems to get better and better.
Yep.
But I remember at the time it was the first one that kind of really got me on board with the franchise.
Yep.
But you're right, it doesn't stand up to the new ones though.
Right. But the new ones do have that spectacle. I can see what he's saying.
Yeah,
I think 3 was the initial like tone shift, but then 4 onward is like you could go from 4 onward for that story arc.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, what's
Haven't
next?
seen any of them.
So you said we skipped, but we did this.
Oh,
one.
we didn't. Okay. Okay.
And we did this one. The end credits started rolling.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So
Marina. I love that name.
Wait, what?
For many reasons. What are your expectations for Mickey 7, the next Bong Joon-ho sci-fi movie starring Robert Pattinson? This will be his first movie after Parasite. It's based on a science fiction novel.
Yeah, we talked about it when they announced this on the show. Look, I don't have a lot of expectations other than the fact that you got a great actor with a great filmmaker.
Intriguing premise, too, even though we've seen elements of it, but intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, when you read the synopsis of what the story is, I mean, there's a lot of very cool mind warp, mind effing kind of that could be going on. But I mean, when you look at Parasite and you look at, what was the monster film he did like 15 years ago? The Host. The Host, yeah, The Host and stuff like that.
I love that movie.
He's a filmmaker who can do a lot of different types of things and he can tell a lot of different types of stories. So put in an actor with the caliber of Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Could be something.
Weta
really
did the creature effects for Host. Really good.
All right, what's next?
Eric Benson says, thanks for the membership, tumbling tornado.
Oh, I guess he was one of the beneficiaries of that big membership gifting.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for that, man. All right, what's next?
Victor 5001 5001 said 4K and physical media always for things I love the most.
Listen, I get it. I do. I get it. There are advantages to physical media that will never go away.
Do you
even
know
when physical media goes away?
What I got on 4K Steelbook when I went home yesterday?
Everything.
Red Dawn.
Oh, that you were telling me
The
about
original
that
Red Dawn.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the
remake,
Chris Hemsworth one, but the original
I
one.
picked it up at Best Buy, and I'd never been to the San Bernardino Best Buy.
When you get them, do you just throw them behind you in your car, and there's just a big pile, and you're like, I'll watch it.
No, but when I was moving, Erin Cummings saw my car. Literally, you opened up the trunk, and there were hundreds of discs. She took a picture and gave me a bunch of crap for it.
All right, what's next?
Blake62 says, long term, do you think the pandemic actually helped theaters by showing people what they were missing? I know I missed it. Thanks.
No. Even the long term, and look, I'm a look for the silver lining kind of guy, but no, there is in no way anything except this was a shit deal for movie theaters, man.
Yeah.
And there, by the way, when you look at reports coming out of Cineworld and Regal, the theaters are still dealing with the repercussions of it, and it's still hurting.
And this month is not doing well for them because
there's no content.
That's what I mean.
Which again,
not good.
That has partially to do with the fact that the production pipeline got interrupted for a long time, for years in some cases. And so and by the way, this isn't going to be the last kind of desert period of time we get with not a lot of big movies coming out. There's going to be 1 or 2 more. And so theaters are still dealing with the repercussions.
It's true.
All right, what's next?
Ninja Fart Monkey.
Unfortunately.
One of
He's
2.
right.
How She-Hulk could use Deadpool without using him. Jennifer walks into Kevin Feige's office and we hear Reynolds on the speakerphone saying,
Sheriff's hard.
okay, I'm not hearing a lot of love for the double NC-17 rating. And then Feige says, Wade, I have to go.
I mean, Chris Carr brought up a really good idea. She said you literally could have just like from the neck down, you could have him walk, or somebody in a Deadpool costume literally just walk across.
Yep.
You don't even have to have Ryan Reynolds in the suit. You don't have to have his voice in it. That's a pretty good idea, though, that you just came up with and say, so I'm not here to love for the NC-17. I gotta go. I like that. I think that works really well.
I like it too. I think it's
and you
good.
don't even have to get Ryan Reynolds' schedule to work. He's just got to call in and record a voice message, and away he goes.
And you know what? You know everything's better with ninjas, and I think there should be a Ninja Fart Monkey animated series.
I think someone's already writing the script.
Probably.
All right, what's next?
Faisal says, does She-Hulk deserve the review bombing.
No,
Come on.
no show, even my most hated shows of all time, deserve review bombing before anybody's even seen it. Like, that's why, like, I refer to the people review bombing as the penisless virgin brigade. And, you know, somebody said to me,
Well, if you don't have a penis, you can't
you shouldn't
not
be
be a
labeling
virgin.
people just because they don't like a show. It's like, I'm not. I'm labeling people who decided to review bomb something they've never even seen. Because that's pathetic.
Well, it's also
Like, that is... Then somebody said to me, well, then how come you're not talking against people who went in and put in the 10s? Well, because they just felt the need to do that to counter what these bottom feeders were doing. On top of that, I always say, fan review ratings online are useless. Whether they're pro or good or bad, they're all useless. The only audience rating that matters at all is the Rotten Tomatoes audience rating for movies, not for TV shows, because for movies, they can actually verify if somebody saw the movie or not. With TV, they can't do that for TV. They can't verify somebody watched it, and that's why IMDb ratings are useless, pro or con. That's why Rotten Tomatoes audience ratings for television shows are useless, pro or con. It's all useless. You shouldn't pay any attention to them, good or bad.
Also, you know, it just, for me, it's so hard to make something that's good. And when we get something of a certain level of quality, which She-Hulk is, all the people that worked hard to produce that show deserve better. And I think the idea of review bombing is a disrespectful practice anyway, which what we need more of is respect across the board for everything and
all the
everyone.
Look, you watch a show and you didn't like it. You jump online and say, hey, I watched a show. I did not think it was good. I thought it was a bad show.
What
Nothing
else
wrong
can
with
I
that.
do?
That's perfectly good. But this whole pathetic cretin practice of, well, this has got a girl in it, and no girl has ever let me touch their boobies, so I don't like it. Like, it's so sad and pathetic and weak that it's just, yeah. Anyway. All right, what's next?
Stevens, C20. So one of two. Hey, John, you probably don't remember my username, but I've been a viewer of the show since AMC.
Oh,
now.
wow.
And I just want to thank you for being a huge part of how I came to love movies. Not to be dramatic. There it is. But Man of Steel changed my life the moment I saw it when I was 13. After the movie, I watched your review on it, and the rest was history. Thank you for helping me fall in love with the movies.
Here's the thing, Steve. First of all, thank you so much for that. And I appreciate that so much. Art can change your life.
Indeed.
Some of the great figures in history have talked about their pivotal moments came when I looked at this piece of art, or they heard that piece of music, or whatever. Movies as art, they tap into something in us that can make us dream, make us question, make us evaluate, make us inspired. Listen, it is not a silly thing to say art moved me, and when we are moved, it can change the direction of our lives. And that's not like, well, John, you're saying if I watch, you know, what's a fucking show, South Park, it's going to change my life? Well, not necessarily.
What is
But I'm
going
saying
on?
art
He's not taking
can.
any damage.
That's what art does.
Huh?
Whether it's a minor little thing that maybe just gave you a bit better of a day, maybe it's a little
What?
bit more of a significant thing that it gave you, it inspired a piece of insight in your mind to help you make an important decision in your life at the time. Art is amazing. And it has that power to do it. And I think that's amazing that did that. And so thank you for sharing that experience, man. I really
I love hearing that too. Yeah, it's quite fantastic.
Can we go? Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
One of the fucking two of you speak.
Stop saying go ahead. I'm the technical director, and the camera's on you, so you
I
go
just
ahead.
wanted to see if we could trace that IP back from that last super chat.
You go trace
Does
the
it go
IP.
back to
I'm
John
moving
Kim?
on.
John Canthia writes. All right, what's next?
Dr. Stinky says also, Dr. Squanch Batman Balls.
Just squanch Batman balls?
I don't know what that
is. That
is.
is that like a town in Canada? I'm not sure.
I
where-
have no idea.
There's Dr. Squatch, you know, the
No.
soap.
All right, what's next? Let's move
That's how we
on.
want.
My Comic
Damn,
Planet says,
Canada.
happy 86th birthday to Robert Redford,
Wow.
a.k.a. Alexander Pierce. For the record, I still think The Natural is my favorite Robert Redford film.
Sneakers is still mine.
See, both of those are
And
great.
in a world where Sundance, exists.
What about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
That's what I said.
Kid?
In a world where Sundance exists, I know that sounds weird, but Sneakers is still my favorite movie of his. it's so good. And Sir Ben's in that one.
Sir Ben.
James Earl Jones, Dan Aykroyd.
It's a great cat. River Phoenix.
River Phoenix. I mean, it's an incredible cat, but it's such a good movie.
So good.
I love it so much.
It's a great movie.
But he's got a closet full of
3 Days of the Condor, The Electric Horseman.
All right, what's next?
Alex Collins says, finally had those mozzarella sticks with sour cream and oh my god, amazing.
I'm telling you.
Love what you guys do.
I'm telling you,
I gotta
the
try this
truth
now.
will set you free, my brother.
He keeps fucking
And the
preaching
truth
about that
lies
shit.
in a gooey
gotta
stick
try
mozzarella stick and a good little side of sour cream. I'm telling
is
you,
this?
it's an
What is
orgasm in
this?
your
It won't even
mouth.
let me
Don't
pick the
deprive yourselves
fucking
of this
fruit.
joy any longer.
Oh my
Get out to
God,
Applebee's or
lag.
whatever local restaurants
That
will
might be
serve
a
it.
sign.
You go and enjoy
my
that.
time.
Rub it on your testicles.
No.
Do all the stuff.
Wait
you
a
need to
minute.
do.
No.
Give
Wait,
yourself
whoa.
joy.
Are those Manscaped testicles?
That's
better
why they're
be.
so smooth.
If the waitress slaps you after you say mozzarella and sour cream, don't blame.
I'm telling you, it's the way to go. It's glorious.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
Boy,
Might
this
slap
almost
you
went
after
off the
doing
rails.
what
The
John
show,
suggested.
got to pull it back. Joseph Fertoni says, I'm in Asia, so a VPN has been a must. The other day you said Disney Plus and Hulu are #1 in some countries. I got an idea. Let's just say I'm excited to watch Prey. And if you have a VPN, London is great.
I mean, listen, it's no secret. A lot of people like VPNs are great just for privacy, security, all that
Sure.
kind of stuff. But let's call it what it is. A lot of people use VPNs so they can tell a streaming service that they're in a country they're not really in.
Of course.
So they can watch certain content. I am not advocating such a practice, but it's what a lot of people do, and it's a very creative use of it. That's all I'm saying.
You know, and if they're not going to make it commercially available in your own country.
Like that part does. Like I remember when Mandalorian came out.
Oh yeah.
Right when Disney Plus launched.
That was
Don't blame Disney Plus that Disney Plus wasn't in every country yet. They were trying. They
Sure.
were rolling out as fast as they could. But whereas what is now Paramount Plus, at the time when Star Trek Discovery was coming out,
Yep.
it's like, well, what was it called at the time? CBS All Access.
CBS All Access.
which is now Paramount Plus. But when CBS All Access was not available everywhere, what they did was, well, for all those countries that we don't have CBS All Access, we are going to license out Discovery. So in a lot of countries that had Netflix, say, you could watch Discovery on Netflix because they licensed it out. And Disney didn't do that with Mandalorian. So a lot of fans around the world had to keep hearing about how this great show is out there. And they're like, what's that Futurama meme where it's like, just shut up and take my money. There are people all over the world saying, no, I want to pay for it. I want to pay for the content and I want to watch it, but they gave them no legal avenue to do so. And that's risking a lot of stuff. You can't, I don't know that if you're a service, you can complain a lot about piracy when you literally don't give the consumers a legitimate way to acquire your content.
It's
When
true.
they're there saying that we want to pay for it, we want to watch it legitimately, give us a
Okay. There's got to be something I can do right now. Well, let's do another poll. Nothing good. Lame. I can get a Nemesis Matrix box. What the hell are these? Hmm. There's so many of these things. Okay, that helps a little bit. Ooh, what is this? I saw a relic box. Nice. Okay. I think I'm gonna get off for the night. This is what we plan on doing, a short one anyways. Tomorrow, go to the new zone. and level up. Hopefully it's not laggy. Okay. Good night. Goodbye. Thank you for the follow. Again,